Welcome to, oh wait, are we live yet? We are live. Hi everybody and welcome to Roll the Dice and MVG Charity Drive. We're playing the campaign Gems of Calathos. First stream and first session. So let's get to it. Guys, thanks for joining in on the campaign. Somebody's got some TV in the background that's a little loud, but I don't know if there's anything we'll be able to do to fix that.
Hold on, that's probably me. Hold on one second.
No, no worries. Zendragon, what's your character's name?
Excellent. So my character is Sir Nicodemus Flintspark, and you're looking at a halfling paladin.
Yep. I'm going to love this character. He's going to be fun. Actually, all of them are going to be a lot of fun, I think. Sir Nicodemus. And which god are you a paladin to, sir?
Had to pull up the character sheet. I have chosen as my god Tor, the god of courage.
Tor, the god of courage. Well, we have different pantheons. So I can get you one that's very, very close. How about Debfo, the god of protection and justice, honor and valor? Close enough?
That will be great.
All right. Nicodemus, character made. Again, thank you for your patience while we get the last little bits figured out here. Right now, all of your tokens and everything will be assigned as all players because the it'll just be easier that way at the beginning. We'll lock it down as we go. Does anybody have any questions while I'm figuring out the last couple of things here?
Do you want to throw your Twitch and Table 1 chat? We can throw you a lurk.
Yeah. How do you want me to do that?
I mean, if whoever you want to share the link, just so we can throw you out.
That should be your link. I'm twitching to your charity channel.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Got that all set up. Does anybody want to take a look at that and make sure it's coming across okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, but your video's kind of frozen.
Oh, mine is?
Yes.
Oh, that's a little
my
odd.
microphone there so you can hear me properly.
Gotcha.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Just had to refresh my Twitch.
Perfect.
Well, I never actually inputted my character sheet on Roll20.
Yeah, I'm creating some dummy ones right now just so I can associate the characters to them.
Okay.
Or the tokens to them, and then after that, we'll fix these over time so that we don't take too much time from today. I really want to just dive right in as soon as we can with some background and lore. Maybe 20 minutes of explaining the world and some of the systems that go on in it, that kind of thing. Morgan, what's your character's name?
His name is Ian Sunsor. He is a human artificer.
Sun Sword?
Sunsor. Sunsor. Sunsor.
Okay, perfect. And Ian, I take it as
wooden-
I-A-N?
I'm sorry?
Ian is, I take it, I-A-N?
No, E-A-N.
E-A-N, all right, thank you.
E-A-N. Hey, Dargo, do you think we could throw his Twitch over in somewhere to advertise that he's streaming to get people from this Discord to watch?
So we should be able to do a ping. If not, then we can always do the what do you want to call it? Self-promote tab as well.
Yeah, we could do.
Okay,
Let me
I think I'm done
let
with
me
this part.
contact Renee Sergeant. Maybe he can send something up.
And as we go along, if you guys want to provide me with artwork for your characters, we can get them plugged in there if you want to do it that way. But we're pretty good as far as, oh, Fahad, yours is not taking for some reason. Let me figure out what's going on here. Refresh.
Here. No, it's the same one I already sent you.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's the same one.
So what are we rolling right now? I see everybody rolling here. I have no idea what to do.
I think they're just
Good luck.
testing.
Yeah.
If anybody's... I just had to refresh, so I didn't see the last ones.
I believe for your HP, it should just be your hit dice plus your constitution modifier for the first level,
Right.
not something you're rolling.
Right.
On the extension, do I want to select use D&D Beyond's digital dice?
If you want to. Sometimes there's a little bit of lag between that and Roll20, but it's not usually too bad.
It doesn't matter. I'll use
Yeah.
either or.
Yeah. Cat. Oh, I made you as a handout. No wonder you're not working. Joe Cat, why'd you let me do that, huh?
What did I do?
I made your character as a handout.
Ah,
I'll hold you personally responsible.
it's alright. I live.
Right? Okay, so World of Calamar. The world is called Talene, and the campaign setting from Kenzer and Company is called Kingdoms of Calamar. So I get a kick out of the character named Calamar. That'll be fun. Let's see, JK. I still can't find Jalcat. I'm going to throw you guys over to the world map here. And go ahead and spend a minute or so going over the map and looking at it, and then I'll describe some things. I know some people, I've told you some stuff about this already, but we're going to go over it again just to make sure everyone is on the same page. And then I'll describe, what's happening with you. We'll be able to jump right in. Except for Jalcat, for some reason, I am not able to find his character.
Do I need to change something?
Nope, it's not on your end. It's something either in Roll20 or something I'm doing. I got everybody else's, but your character is just not showing up. And I want to fix that before we go.
Sending test messages, see if
Yep.
that appears
Nope.
straight.
I'm hearing them. If everybody could go ahead and give me one test roll to make sure that your D&D Beyond is linked up with Roll20.
Wait, how do I do that again?
If you just hover over your D&D Beyond on any of the stats or any of the actions, there'll be a bonus number like a +2, +6, stuff like that. Hover over that, you'll get a little red icon of a die. Just click that and the roll should come over to Roll20.
it.
Okay.
And Sir Nicodemus is not going into roll 20.
Okay, so what's probably missing is you need to go to website Beyond 20 and install the extension for it. It only takes a few seconds. Once that extension's in there, in Beyond D&D Beyond, you'll hit the Features and Traits button. That kind of syncs them up, and you should be good to go after that.
Alrighty.
Okay, there, I've got everybody done. Finally. So, back to the Calamar. So, on the Kingdom of Calamar map, if you're zoomed out to about 100%, I'll give you a quick tour about things. Can everybody see the map?
Yes.
Okay. Humanity kind of started down here in the jungles of Svimoja. And the kingdoms that are down there now are mostly human, but there is a hobgoblin kingdom over here. Remember, hobgoblins are a viable, playable race. They have several kingdoms. They do trade with humans and non-humans alike. They're just as acceptable as like half-orcs, which means many of the kingdoms are still human-centric, so they have bias towards all non-human races. Some are better than others. It makes a couple of places stand out, however, so as I go around, I'll point that off to you. Humans migrated across the Straits of Svimoja thousands of years ago and came up into the Calamar continent. It's kind of referred to as the Calamar continent because Calamar, over here, is the largest empire on the continent. It's shrunk quite a bit, and think of it as Rome in both appearance and in style to Rome when it was at its oldest stage, right at the time of its most decadent, and it's crumbling in on its own weight. To counter this, the emperor is going on an offensive to expand his control again and retake some of the lands that have kind of gotten away from him. Dodera here is known for its horses. They're known throughout the lands as some of the best horses to be able to get. They're also a duchy of Calamar. Tokus is holding the line. There have been skirmishes between Tokus and Calamar. Pikal here supports Tokus. Opar up here supports Tokus as well. And the Kayasa Mountains over here, which are the largest mountains in the world, think of them as the Himalayas. Major dwarvish strongholds through there and through the Kakadela Mountains over here. And they also are helping fight against the Calamar progression. It's not really reached a point of open aggression and hostilities. Treaties are still holding, things like that. But there's a lot of tension. Some border skirmishes have happened. Pikal here is the most cosmopolitan of all the places on Tulane, meaning that the races intermingle there fairly freely with very little discomfort, unless the people have their own biases that they bring in. It's ruled by a prince. He won't declare himself king. He is a half-elf. His views have shaped Pikal because he was cast out of Elvish society, which there's a large Elvish kingdom right here in these woods. They're called the Kaleta woods, or Kakadeli forest. So the prince set up a place that welcomes everyone. One of the things that came out of that is the place with the largest and most well-known college of magic. Now, this world is high magic but low availability. So, in average towns, you're not going to find magic items for sale or things like this. But in the larger cities, trade cities, and capitals, you can generally find items. The more rare, the more difficult, the more expensive, blah, blah. Moving on over to Ek-Kazel and Ek-Gakel. They are currently, two different kingdoms, fairly average, not much to say about them, but they are currently holding the line against the militocracy of Korak. Run by the military, structured by the military. It's a very regimented society, and they're pushing against Ek-Kazel and Ek-Gakel, but mostly against Norgrab Krangrel down here, which is a hobgoblin kingdom that established itself a few hundred years ago. They do trade with goblins under the mountains for fine gems, so they're kind of known for some of the best gems and jewelry to trade for. So there are tensions between Korak and there. There's a lot of skirmishes along the line. The Elos Desert is a place that used to have a massive empire, very sophisticated. In appearance, they're kind of a cross between ancient Egyptians and Native Americans in style and dress. Most of their cities have gone into ruin, and they live a fairly nomadic lifestyle. They are fierce fighters. They survive out in the harshest areas. So if anybody's seen Lord of the Rings, it's not Lord of the Rings, sorry, Wheel of Time, or read the books, they're kind of like the Ale, if you know what that is. A lot of trade goes through there. There's a lot of lore that comes out of that area because they used to keep track of all the lore from around the world that they could gather. So some of those traditions have now turned into oral traditions, and you can find some interesting stuff. This brings us to two things I want to mention. One is the Kingdom of Brandobia. So that's over here on the left or west side of the Elenin Mountains. Kosdal, Eldor, and Mendarn were all one kingdom called Brandobia up until about 40 years ago. The king died, and the princes couldn't figure out who was going to win the War of Succession. Conflict broke out, and they decided to split it up into three kingdoms. Currently, Eldor and Mendarn are having disputes. So there's some border skirmishes there, more or less attacks on trading caravans and some banditry going on that are really sponsored by the states. Out of all of those, actually over there, the style of armor, technology, and housing and whatnot is like 14th century Germany. They're a very structured society. They're also very human-centric, very much so. There are two elvish communities, one in the Lindlewood here, which a large community of wood elves. The high elves left there and went up here to the Volder Woods. And so there's a huge high elf community up there. Both areas have some skirmishes with Eldor and Kosdal as pressures mount between the elven communities and them. But Mendarn is trying to elicit trade and relations with other races. It's still in its infancy, so there's still some bias and bigotry going on, but for the most part, they allow trade for non-humans to come through, and they don't treat them too much. Kind of stifled hostility, if you will. And that brings us down to Pelbrolanen right here. Pelbrolanen is special for two reasons. One, it's a slave-based society, so much like ancient Egypt was. They have a lot of slaves. It is a theocracy ruled with an iron fist from the priesthood, but beyond that, it also is ruled by a god who lives on the material plane and lives in Vrendelen, the capital city. So far, his influence is trapped between the Yan Elenin Mountains and the Sliv Elenin Mountains down here. But the god's power grows with his expansion, and Mendarn and Pelbrolanen are currently at odds, and so are some of the Dehi tribes over here in the Elos Desert. So, all of that kind of sums up the world at large. Does anybody have any questions or want me to expand on anything? Okay, well, don't everybody speak at once. Your characters should have some backstories about where they came from, where they're currently at. I have left a mystery. So does anybody want... I would like everyone to go down the list. I'll read off the names and describe your characters a little bit. There's two in particular that I want to know if they know each other. First we have Skrull. Steve, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
All right.
Again.
Skrull is a younger Kenku wizard, Order of the Scribes. He only knows 2 words that he can repeat. It's magic and his name. The rest he has to figure out by what he hears. Basically, he is trying to work his way up the Order of the Scribes to finally retire one day fairly wealthy. Okay.
So you're going to be the spokesman for the group then, right? Not being able to speak. The voice of the group. How do you communicate with the people around you? And let me tell you, with all the group that you've got with you right now, you guys are going to know each other extremely well. There's a harsh reason for it. So how would you have communicated information with the rest of the group? How would they understand you?
I also got one question. How do you spell scrawl?
Scrawl.
C.
As if you were writing something, scrawling something.
You are a what now?
A Kenku wizard.
They are incredibly rare. Matter of fact, almost nobody's heard of them.
His main method of communication is using those 2 words in different inflections and emotion wise, but normally he writes stuff down. As with the Order of the Scribes, you're supposed to get a magical quill that whatever you basically think in your head, is written out on a piece of paper or parchment.
Now, that would have been...
sooner or later, we'll get there.
That wouldn't have been available to you during your first, the first 4 months of the campaign. So, without being able to write to them, how much would you have really communicated with them or tried to? I mean, kind of feeling like you can't, right? Because you don't have what you normally use.
It's more of an interpretation based off of the emotion he puts into the 2 words.
Okay.
So, if he says magic and it sounds like he has a question mark at the end of it, maybe I'm interested in something and I'm pointing at something.
Okay.
Maybe if we're out and there's dirt on the ground, he could actually write with a stick into the dirt.
Okay.
He'll improvise if need be.
Fair enough. Okay, let's move down to you, Jerry. Calamore, half-orc barbarian of the Grave Token of the Undying. Go ahead and give me a description and then tell us who you are.
How do you spell Calamore?
Calamore.
Kal.
T. Charlie, Alpha, Lima, Alpha, Mike, Oscar, Romeo, Echo.
Calamore, you're half a barbarian.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
So I'm a half-orc barbarian. I look a little bit more human trade-ish. Small tusks. Probably around 5'8", 5'9", not too big. I am a barbarian, so not really what you usually see as a barbarian type though. I'm more well learned. I speak a little bit more. I read, so a little bit of a conundrum. You would think that I'd be this dumb hulking brute when actually I'm kind of slender. I'm more wiry than just bulk.
Okay. We talked a little bit about where you came from. Do you remember where that was?
Yes, I come.
Can you tack it on the map? The way you do that, if you haven't used Roll20 before, is you just hold the left mouse button down for a little bit, and it should ping a circle up. If you can remember where you were from, go ahead and ping it on the map. Yep.
From this little area right here, right above Korak.
Yeah, and
Kind of
in the mountains, right?
Yeah, just at the base of the mountains. Dealt with the hobgoblin, so I learned how to speak. I had learned how to speak hobgoblin, so that if we ever came across one of their hunting parties, it
Right.
didn't turn volatile. Learned a lot of the lay of the land, how to actually travel, how to read maps. So I'm can't really get lost as long as I have a map. I always kind of know where I've been, where I'm going.
Sure. And for clarification, it was a little down here. It was above at the foothills out here, below Korak, and close to Norgr Krangel, which is where the hobgoblins are. So yeah.
Oh yes, sorry, thank you. I saw the green spot, and I
Yeah. No, that's a swamp. Lizard
the
folk are
Korak.
known to live up there. All right, let's go on to you, Jesse.
Alright, I am Kirame, a female topaz gen dragonborn ranger.
Ranger.
How do you spell?
It is how it is in Roll20, Kiramay.
Kind of. Alright, spell it again.
Kiramay.
And you are a.
Topaz Gem Dragonborn Ranger. I come from a wandering clan that has wandered some of this continent.
Dragonborn are also fairly rare, so there's a good chance that this might be the first one you've ever seen, or some of you might not even know some of them exist until, well, you've got one with you, so.
And I hold my honor to the highest degree.
Okay. Did we talk about a deity at all with any of you? I mean, other than, the paladin?
Yes.
It's got a very rich pantheon of gods here. The gods play a fairly important part in most people's lives. Some of them, of course, take them and leave them, but there are a lot of churches, a lot of temples, a lot of shrines around the area for a variety of different gods. So if you have any interest in it, let me know. Let's move on down to you, Fahad.
Alright, so my character's name is Jelket, just like in Discord. It's Juliet, Alpha, Lima, Kilo, Echo, Tango.
Cool.
And just like Calamore, he's also a half-orc barbarian, but in contrast, he is not 5'6" or 5'8". He's actually 6 feet 2. He loves to work out. He's muscle bound. He's the middle child of 3 brothers. So he always never stood up to his father's expectations. He left home at an early age and currently lives in Pakal, unless that changes. He's trying to make a name for himself, but most of his time is spent in taverns drinking. He's also a womanizer. He falls in love with every woman he meets.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, and he thinks he's got a singing voice, but he's a barbarian, not a bard. He doesn't realize it.
Fair enough. Do you two know each other, the two half-orcs, barbarians? Do you perhaps come from the same tribe, or did you come from different places?
Well,
I would say we came from the same place.
Okay.
I would say Calamore would make an excellent younger brother that was the smarter brother, if we were to go in that direction.
Sure.
The middle child is the, more beastie boy, and the younger brother is smarter. I mean, if Calamore agrees with that take.
Yeah, I had to learn from there. I had to learn from his mistakes, so I got wise.
It sounds like you had plenty of opportunities. Okay, all right. So we have the barbarian twins. Great. That's going to be fun. Zen Dragon, Sir Nicodemus.
Sir, yes, sir. So, Sir Nicodemus is a halfling. So when you see him, you're thinking, is he a rogue, ranger, bard? He does have a pleasant singing voice, but he also insists that you call him Sir Nicodemus, or Sir Nick is fine. And he likes to regale those around him of great stories of the Flint Spark family. His father and uncle were great warriors in their homeland, as well as their fathers. And so Sir Nicodemus is a third generation paladin. And that's just one of those things. You see this 2 foot, 11-inch halfling, and he swears he's a paladin.
So you're as small as a gnome then, almost.
Yeah, gnomish, but very wiry. He's very wiry. Very limber little guy. And, he's wont to take to song when he can. He is an exquisite lute player, though I think in our situation he would not have his lute currently.
Probably.
So he typically will sing or hum to himself a lot.
Decent singing voice or grating on the nerves?
If you enjoy the sounds of a halfling singing, then yes.
All right, fair enough.
He has the skill.
All right, perfect. And last and certainly not least, Morgan. Let's hear about Ian.
So Ian Sunsor is a human artificer. He comes from, how do I ping?
Just hold your left mouse button down for a few seconds and it should ping. On the map.
Yeah, doing that. I'll probably
There we go. Yep, perfect.
No.
That's me.
Yeah. Trying to do that, but not what. Well, he comes from. If you look at the Elos Desert, the name, like north, west of it is Jinshi. That is where he's from. He is a descendant of the
Dehi.
what are they called?
The Dehi. Yeah, Dejy, Dehi.
He is a descendant of the Dehi, who was the rulers of the Elos Desert, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And he is very into mathematics, engineering, mechanistry. He's an artificer. He likes cracking things and making. He has been all over the desert visiting the ruins of his ancestors, collecting once lost knowledge, and learning it himself.
Okay, perfect. So, I mentioned that you guys have known each other for quite some time. I'm about to explain why that is. From the various places that you have come from, you have found yourselves in a rather singular situation. In a variety of different locales as you guys were traveling, something happened to you. And I'll explain it here in just a moment. The creak of the wheels and the rocking of the wagon has a dulling quality to it that is a kind escape from the torment of the last few months. The cold iron bars of the cage you were in, still surprised to find yourselves in, hurt to the touch due to the bitter cold from the snowy pass you were finally clearing. The ground now only touched by scattered drifts of snow that refused to melt from the last blow from the mountains. You have been captured by Pelbrolini's slavers and have been riding in a caravan. There were 4 cages and 2 covered wagons and a wooden wagon and about 30 guards that were escorting this thing across the area. They went as far into as Pikal and skirted down past Benita and down this way and then into the Elos Desert over to the Elenan Mountains, and you've just come through a pass that is just above the small E in Elenan Mountains over into the foothills. It has been torturous. It is led by a priest of the oppressor. He is known, he is recognized by his robes with 2 diagonal red slashes on it, denoting that he is of the higher rank in the priesthood there. And he they know what they're doing about taking slaves. Those of you who have magical capabilities, they were able to spot it fairly early on due to the magics of Kellen, the priest, and you have been drugged for most of the time. So in addition to, in a way, it's a blessing because the punishment that they put you all through, they beat you on a regular basis. They've given you ratty, they took away your possessions, and they have you in your clothes, which have been soiled and rotting, and you've been wearing them for months without end. In addition to the beatings, they drug those that have magic capabilities. Oh, yeah, right. No safe word. Right. It's muffled the pain a bit. It's still kind of a blur and whatnot. But those of you without that benefit, in order to keep you in line, they've done some serious beatings, occasionally for no reason at all, or maybe because Kellen or one of the other acolytes or guards were in a bad mood. It's been a rough 4 months, four-ish months. It got worse as you got into the mountains, because unfortunately you got into the mountains in wintertime, and it took almost 2 months to get through it. And you lost a wagon in the Dehi in the Elos Desert to an attack by Dehi tribesmen who hate the Pelbrolonese, and they'll take out slave caravans any chance they got. So one covered wagon was burned, and one of the slave wagons was actually made off with. So you don't know what would have happened with them. Those of you who are you from the Dehi, I believe that's if I keep it correct, that's yours, Morgan, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You know that they were probably set free. The Dehi don't keep slaves themselves, and so hopefully they found a better life, but they weren't able to take on any more than that because of the sheer number of guards and magic that Kellen was able to wield. That traveled on into the mountains, and in the mountains you lost 2 more wagons. You lost the wagon with all the women, except for Calamare. Did I get that right? Or Kirame? Kirame. I will get it right eventually. Except for Kirame, due to an avalanche that hit, and you spent several days getting the wagons out of what was left of the wagon train out of that. So you're down to 1 caged wagon, 1 covered wagon, and Kellen's wooden wagon that is all wood with a locked iron door. You have never seen anybody but Kellen go in or out of that wagon. Nobody's come in to grab something for him. Nothing. Nobody goes into that wagon. Everybody, all the guards are fairly miserable because they don't have a lot of their belongings anymore either. There's only 1 wagon of their stuff. Provisions are low, so you guys have been not starved, but you're given very, very little to eat. So you're tired, you're weak, you're soiled. It's miserable. You've had yourselves to get to know each other, to get to know and to kind of bolster each other's spirits as much as you can. Sir Nicodemus probably has a lot of... He probably has done that the most, and singing with the half-orc, who will, I'm sure, join in trying to sing as well. And that's where you find yourselves. There was 1 guard that just before you hit the mountains has started to... he doesn't beat you. He tries to sneak extra food in there. And over the course of the last month, he's taken over the duties of feeding and watering the slaves, and he has been putting less and less and less of the drug in the mage's food. And now that you've come out through the pass, you're down into the foothills of the Elenin Mountains. There's trees everywhere. He has actually stopped about 2 days ago feeding you any of the drugs. So for the first time in 4 months, those of you who cast magic, paladins, mages, sorcerers, whatever it has, you can finally are coming back to yourself and feel like you're coming out of a fog. To the rest of you, and those guys included, you have been given a little more food. Not necessarily better food, but you've been given more food. And he's been trying to swap out blankets. He's taken a beating once or twice because he thought he was being too. Kellen thought he was being too kind to the people, to the slaves, and but he didn't stop. He made arguments of they're going to die, and we've already lost so much. If we don't keep these alive, they're not going to make it, and we'll have nothing to sell. So he managed to get you some new blankets recently, and which has been a lifesaver, almost literally. So that's where you find yourselves in right now. And so before I get to the next description, what do you guys do? Say, how do you guys feel about what's going on?
Have we heard the names of these two guards that seem to have changed their attitudes towards the slaves?
It's one guard, and yes, his name is Essen.
1 second, I'm chronicalizing that.
Okay.
How do you spell his name?
Essen.
Essen. Got it.
Yep. He's still a slaver, but you can tell he's not liking the life very much, and he's paying the price. You can tell that when he gets back to Pelbrolanan, he's probably not going to have a good life.
Have we heard anything, has anything that we've heard him talk about, is this his first time
Yes.
being a slaver? This is his first trip out with them?
Yeah, you've heard comments over the last month or two. So he's definitely talked. They've talked about him. It's his first time. We got to teach him the ropes. He's going too easy on him. Blah blah blah. Things like that. So you've pieced it together that yes, this is his first time. He's younger than most of the others by several years.
They're calling him the FNG.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I feel pity for him.
Currently, what are we doing right now? Are we stopped for the night? Is that what?
Yeah, we're about to be stopped for the night. I just wanted to make sure that you guys had an opportunity to talk amongst each other, and let me know what bonds have been formed between the group, or if the whole group is kind of bonded together. That kind of thing. You've endured this hardship together for months, with only yourselves to really rely on. Many of you have probably come close to death, whether from starvation or the elements, and the group kind of necessarily, would keep bodies warm. Y'all huddle at night. Everyone is looking to make sure that Scrawl is their pillow because he's all soft and feathery.
Good.
Calamore definitely would have, coming from more of a tribal standpoint, he would have tried to at least be jovial and kind of get to know everybody, what they can and can't do, just in case something could happen and there's an opportunity where they could either try to break for it, or if Essen keeps on going down this road, maybe gives them a chance to fight back. Definitely would have been talking to people a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Anybody else?
Throughout the journey, in which the times that Ian isn't drugged up, he has taken quite an interest to the Dragonborn and the Kinko, due to the fact that they are rare. And a good trait for Ian is that he's very much so in chronicalization. He loves learning about new things. Everything that is magic, anything that is lore, he loves learning. He's a very smart man. So he is very inquisitive of both the anatomy and the physiological differences of the Dragonborn race and the king cow that is in the party.
So, Kirame, would you have shared any of the intimate knowledge of your class or your race with him over the months?
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't hold back. Give him all the details he asked for.
Okay, and Skrull, I take it you tell him magic? Magic. Magic. Magic.
Basically.
Scroll.
So
Magic.
They don't even know if I can even cast magic yet. So
No,
all I'm saying is magic in my name, so they don't know if I'm just like interested in it or if I can actually do it.
Right. That could be any way that you want. They could have an idea of it after getting to know your mannerisms. Kind of like Luke Skywalker learning Wookiee. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that, sir?
Said 1 tap means yes, 2 taps mean
No.
no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're a mage. Tap. Scroll. Magic. Scroll magic. Stuff like that. Anyway, so you guys, feel bonded together or not, whatever you want to do, but you've managed to survive together this long. Somebody asked about the weather. Always a dangerous question. I love it. It starts to rain, and it's more or less a steady drizzle, and the night starts to fall. Just before that, they had pulled off the road. It's not a sizable road, but it's definitely used because it's going through a pass of the mountains. So, it's got some traffic, but not during the winter. So they managed to pull off the road and they set up a campsite. And let me get you guys moved over there.
I forgot to interject. I had to take a 2-minute breather.
Okay.
My character, because Jalkit was the largest, he was beaten the most.
Okay.
Because he acts more than he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple failed attempts by him to try to get out. He was beaten the most during this trip. So, needless to say, he's battered and bruised.
Okay. Yep. All of you are. He is definitely has received the worst for wear. Would you have saved any of the others from beatings by, intervening and taking the beatings yourself?
So, as Jalkit is a half-orc and a sizable half-orc, more orcish than human, he does not like it when innocents are beaten. So every time somebody would be receiving a beating, he would step in or try to take the beating for them, or in that scenario.
Sometimes when that happened, in order to try and break your will of doing that so that they could punish the one that they're beating on for whatever reason they're doing it, Kellen would come over and he would cast magics that would cause some pain and suffering your direction, to try and get you to stop doing that. But eventually he gave up, just because your will outwilled him, so to speak. He just finally stopped caring about it. But he definitely orders some extra beatings for you, for any slight. Definitely has been a very bad time for you.
Nice.
I'd also like to say Kiramar would also have been very resistant to all of this, just to keep up their own honor.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you, of course, would get your fair share of beatings as well. And when I say beatings, they're drubbing you with blunt force trauma, clubs and such, sticks. They're whipping you, and whenever Kellen ordered a whipping, or if he did it himself, he would use a whip that has shards of metal in it, so it would really rip the flesh. He whipped 2 people in the course of this to death. They just died from shock from all of the pain and suffering that they were going through. He seems to delight in the pain itself, whereas the rest of the guards and the other priests or acolytes that are there, it's more about the oppression than it is pain, right? Even the guards, it's more about keeping you in your place, which is below their feet or beneath their feet. And with Kellen, it's more about the pain, it seems. He's really cruel. And they all have kind of cruel weapons. So they'll have, extra hook on, or their swords have a hook at the end of it, so they can hook into something and it rends the flesh a little better. Their spiked maces that they have look cruel, with flanges that are a little broader or whatnot, just to inflict cutting and piercing wounds on you. I mean, they wouldn't beat you with those things, but just the look of it. And then you notice that once they've got here, out of the wagon they pull some tabards that they pass out to the various guards, and the tabards are a light blue and silver. Definitely not, the embossed fist, clenched, spiked fist that is the oppressor's logo. The sign of the oppressor. So all of those things have kind of happened, and the beatings have been less in the last month, just because trying to get through the pass, it's already pretty lethal on everybody trying to sleep in an iron cage in the cold. The beatings have lessened, probably because the slavers themselves are tired. So one night, as this camp is formed, the rain is drizzling down in a fairly steady, not a torrent of rain, but a strong drizzle. Pretty miserable, but luckily you've got your newish wool blankets that are keeping the rain from most of you, and they have taken you out of the wagons and have staked you to the ground near a large fire in the center of camp. They post guards all around, but they seem to be looking outward more than they're looking inward. They've staked you out like this before to get you out of the cages, let you stretch, keep what little strength you have up. But you are manacled, both hands together, and then from the middle of that chain is another chain that goes to this spike that they drive deep into the ground. It's possible you could pull them up, but it would be very difficult to do. So they've got you all around the fire, just as you are on the map. Everybody sees the map okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So there's the crackling of the fire, and the rain happening. Is everybody hearing the crackling of the fire, or is it not
Yes.
Yep.
planned?
Yes.
Okay, good. Still experimenting with some of the music and theme stuff here, so hopefully it carries off well. One night, as you were curled up on the cold ground trying to get as comfortable as possible, a low rumble begins to be heard. This rumble will grow to a dull and then a loud roar, and the night sky becomes brighter. And from over the mountains to the northeast, the sky will lighten as a large fireball streaks across the sky, descending towards the north. This fireball passes a few hundred yards over the trees above your encampment, and the hot wind of its passing ripping away the night's chill. The slavers hit the ground, and their horses rear and scream in terror, breaking free from their line where they're tied up to. The slavers hit the ground. Several of the guards cry out in fear and fall dead to the ground. The tips of the trees bend with the passing of the fire and are smoldering from the heat, and each of you feels a fear stir deep in your hearts. Chad Hannon, is that you? Any initial reaction? Oh wait, no. Before that, a deafening explosion then shakes the ground, and a massive column of fire, dirt, and debris rises into the air from the far north, high enough that you see the flames shoot up over the trees. The trees rock backwards over the encampment, and their needles and leaves are blown from their branches to fall stingingly upon your faces. It takes many minutes for the fear and confusion to wear off, and many more to get the horses back under control for them. Any reaction from you guys? Anything you're doing?
Yes. So Jalkut uses his strength and pulls out the stake from the ground.
Okay. give me a DC strength save.
How do I do that?
It's a pretty hard number. On your character sheet in Beyond and D&D Beyond,
Yes.
there's a square box of stats underneath the row of stats. Those are your DC saves. And so you just click on, go to strength, which is the first one on the top left, I believe. You
Yes.
go over to where it has the bonus, and then just click plus on the die. It should come straight over.
The big box or the smalls? The saving throws over there?
Yes. Saving
Okay.
throws.
Calamore would have tested the spike as well.
Go ahead and give me a roll as well. You try to tug up on it. It is driven deep. It is difficult considering how short the chains are to get your feet underneath you and give it a pull. So I'm considering these light testings. You're kind of tugging on them when guards aren't looking. You're trying to keep tension on the lines. Eventually they catch you and they come over and hit you with the butt of a spear or things like that.
Twin barbarians both rolled 4s.
Yes.
And I have a +6. That was a good start to this game.
Right. Well, it just lets you know how good these slavers are. Right. They're very good at what they do. So.
Oh god.
Does anybody say anything or do anything as this fear starts to subside and the camp is just exploding with activity? There are like 4 or 5 guards that are actually just watching you guys. As Kellen comes out of his wagon, shuts and locks the door, and starts yelling orders to people. Get those horses under control. Get over there. Watch those prisoners. Make sure they don't try anything funny.
Would I have been able to see kind of where that was streaking to? Like,
Yes.
or how far away it could have been?
Give me an insight roll.
Dargo, what's your character's name again?
Calamore.
And what are you attempting?
To kind of figure out the direction of the fireball, like where it could have landed, like just because we're in an area that I kind of know by looking at maps before.
A little bit. I'm not sure if any of you have been over into Brandobia. Calamore, you are the barbarian. Yes, you haven't been over the mountains, but it's more wooded over on this side than the side that you're on the Dehi Desert side and whatnot. Up above there, Norgra Krangrel. So it's a little different. But you guesstimate that it's between 2 and 5 miles north or northeast from your position. It should be easy to see because there's a big glow. You just have to, if you were above the trees, you'd be able to see it pretty easily from where this hit. There's a lot of fire the farther you get northeast. About that time, about 10 minutes after the impact anyway, the cleric Kellen is still yelling at the guards to get things under control when he suddenly freezes. Everything goes silent and all eyes turn to him, matching the eerie stillness following the fall of fire. An amulet in the likeness of an evil leering face that hangs from the neck of Kellen spills forth a green mist that fills a several-foot area in front of the cleric. Within this mist is a figure of a man in hooded robes lined in red trim with 3 thick red stripes across his chest, which marks him as a priest of the Overlord and of higher rank than Kellen. The figure speaks in the Brandobian tongue. Now here's where things get interesting. Those of you who grew up on this side of the world, the Dehi Desert, the orcs above Norgra Krangrel, you guys have an option to know, if you think you should know it, to know the language of Brandobia. In this, there are a lot of languages, human or racial languages here in Calamar, in Talene. So we'll be adding languages to you as you get to those areas where you know them. So to the artificer and the 2 barbarians, do you know Brandobian? And if so,
Yes.
how do you?
Ian as I said, is very into lore, mathematics, etc., etc. Very smart man. His goal is to chronicleize everything in the world, so he needs to know multiple languages. So far, he knows Dehi, and of course, the language they're speaking.
Brandovian. Yeah.
Brandovian. I almost said Barovian. Brandovian.
And they are good engineers over there, so.
Yes. He's very much so into their technology and their passion into technology.
Right.
And so I would definitely put on a good wager. He knows Brandovian, Dehi, and a couple other local languages that surround the Elos Desert, but nothing too far out.
Okay, got it. So add Brandovia language to your sheet. If you don't know how to do that, down in the, I think it's lower left-hand side, there's an area down there where you can add a custom language. If not, we won't fiddle with it now. We can do that after the session if you want, after we're all done. But
yeah, let's do that post-session.
How about you, half-orc barbarians? Do you guys know Brandovian, and if so, why?
I would feel if they kind of go through our territory, like even with the slavers, I would feel like we would have tried to, if not know all of it, then know a majority of it, just so we can kind of find out where they're going.
Sure.
Yeah, basic understanding.
Basic understanding.
Yeah, okay. You guys have it. You can speak Brandovian. You can't read or write Brandovian, but you can speak Brandovian.
That works.
Okay.
So you guys will be able to understand this, and the rest of you they'll have to tell you what it is. Instinctively, do you guys relate what is being said as it's happening, or do you wait a little while?
I wait until the conversation's done to relay what's said.
Okay. And Barbarian Twins, you guys too?
If anyone's actively watching us or actively listening, if everyone's like more focused on just that, and I feel like I can get away with kind of relaying what they're saying, then I would have done that.
Okay.
To keep your eyes away from what
you can tell everyone's eyes are on this. This is not you've never seen this happen before. You've seen Kellen performing magics and the other acolytes helping him, but nothing like this. He says, in the Brandovian tongue, Kellen, the time has come and the sign has been given. Follow the sign and bring me that which has fallen. Do not tarry. This object must be mine. Once you have seized it, be ready. I will send a messenger to retrieve it. Do not let it fall into the hands of our enemies, or your death shall neither be swift nor without considerable torment. The time has finally come, and our enemies will be crushed in the fist of the oppressor. Go. Go now. Bring this item to me. Do not fail. The mist passes with a hot wind, and Kellen's eyes lock onto the party. Without taking his eyes off of any of you, he gives the command for all but 5 guards to ready the horses and move out within 5 minutes. Anything you guys do or say within the next 5 minutes?
I'm going to explain what's been said to the rest of the party members.
You get a harsh tone from one of the acolytes. Silence! But everything's in such a rush and a jumble here as guards are jumping to things that they don't really pay any attention to you after the harsh rebuke. So you're able to get the information across.
Was there any unspent firewood kind of laying around the ring?
Well, let's see. Roll me a percentage. In D20, or excuse me, roll 20 if you don't know how to do that. On the far left side, there's a vertical bar, and the second from the bottom, there's a question mark, then a dice symbol. If you hover over that, you can scoot over and roll the D100. No, there are no unburning brands, but there are a couple of brands in the fire that you could grab one end of that haven't caught fire completely.
Brands?
Brands, yeah. Bits of wood that are not like big chunks of wood, but maybe branches and things like that are put in there.
So outside of the ring, within anything. There's no
No.
unspent logs or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
However, there are a plethora of rocks. Why they don't trust you guys with the wood around there, but they leave the rocks for the fire ring is kind of beyond you. It's kind of a silly thing to overlook.
And it's still raining, right?
It's still raining. It's a drizzle, but the fire is rather large. All of you have been warm for the first time in, it seems, forever.
The dirt is
it mud?
pliable.
No, it is hard packed because it's still the end of winter and the snows have just recently melted, so it's still pretty hard packed when the sun goes down.
Any way I could use my beak to scratch something into the ground?
Absolutely.
Can I, right where, like, my legs are, if I'm sitting like crisscross applesauce, in between my feathers, I would like to try to crudely scratch the shape of a dagger into the ground.
Okay. Give me a deceit roll.
So deception?
Yeah, deception. Okay. Yeah, you scroll it out there pretty easily. The only one that's there that could possibly see it is Kirame.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that fill with water
Okay.
as it's raining. And then I'm going to try to use shape water to turn that pool of dagger water into an actual ice dagger.
Interesting.
And I'm going to try to stuff it into my feathers.
Give me a wisdom save, please. You're still under the effects of some of the drugs, so you can do it, but it's going to take you a little bit before you can do it. You've got to try and fight through the rest of the drug fog that you're on. He wasn't able to completely stop dosing you guys, but it's greatly diminished. So it takes you about 5 minutes to actually be able to cast that. Let me check the charity channel here.
Okay, so since it's only somatic components, basically when I tried to say it one time it didn't work, but me trying to like chirp this incantation out over and over, finally after 5 minutes,
Right.
I can see that the dagger is formed.
Yes, it will have formed at the same time that this happens. 5 minutes later, the encampment is quiet as the remaining guards talk quietly amongst themselves after Kellen and 5 of the guards went with him and left camp. Remaining guards are talking quietly amongst themselves, not paying you guys a whole lot of attention. So as you're trying to form this dagger made of water, great ability, by the way. How many of these can you do at level 1?
So the freezing is not an instantaneous effect, so it can actually be done multiple times, but the only time I can only have two of its non-instantaneous effects active, so I can only have two shape waters of freezing stuff active at once.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to concentrate on wherever that thing is in my feathers. I'm going to try to make sure that it stays frozen and doesn't melt away.
Okay. Like I said, it's going to take about 5 minutes for there to be enough water and for you to get through the fog.
That's fine.
Sorry, would Kira may have noticed this? So just sitting around observing everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys are watching each other pretty closely. Because now, I mean, this is the best chance that anybody's had of possibly being able to, get close to escaping. This looks like an opportunity. And sure enough, go ahead.
I would have liked to use my Sonic Mind ability to send a telepathic message to Skrull asking if they can make another one for me.
Okay, go ahead and give me a wisdom roll to see if the drugs in your system are sufficiently out.
Are we saying the telepathic method?
Yes, Kira May.
Wisdom save instead of just the wisdom roll, because you might.
It's the same.
Oh, it is. Okay,
Plus
all
3.
right. Got it. Wasn't sure if you got a proficiency bonus with that or not. Yes, you get the message across to him. Now, none of you are surprised at this happening. So, Skrull, you're used to this. This has happened before. Probably. Well, no, that's right. You're just coming out of the fog. So, yeah, give me... well, what's your reaction, Skrull? You hear a voice in your head saying,
I would assume it sounds kind of familiar to how I speak.
How does it
it'd be
sound, though?
close.
Is it broken?
What was that?
Because, from what I understand, if you don't pass the wisdom save, the spell kind of like gets distorted or whatever.
Oh,
so, like,
okay.
am I hearing a pristine voice, or is it just like something? Sounds like whispers that I can't like figure out.
Yeah, you can. It's something about dagger, but you're not sure what it is, and it does sound like whispers that are echoing a little bit, so it doesn't come through really clear.
Can I recognize the voice?
Give me an intelligence save. Your DC is going to be 16.
Lol.
Low.
Wizard can't make in safe.
You're not sure who said it, but you're pretty sure it's one of the group.
Is he looking at me? Like, if I try to catch eyes with people in the group, like, does he have to look at me while he's doing this?
I would assume that he would be looking at you.
Any creature that I can see within 30 feet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would be kind of glancing at you.
Alright, so am I able to catch, like, the side eye as he's trying to, like, concentrate into my head?
Well, you're also concentrating on your spell, so give me what's your default perception?
Shapewater's not a concentration spell.
Well, I mean, you're concentrating on performing a magical act.
I get you.
Yeah. So, especially through the fog and everything else. So, what's your passive perception?
My passive is 13.
Good enough. Yeah, you notice him out of the corner of your eye, staring at you intently.
All right, I'll catch eyes with him and just give him like, I'll do like a very faint chirp, and then I'll try to make sure that the other guards are like not necessarily paying attention, as I'm assuming they're rushing to pack things up.
They're not packing anything up. The guards that have left have already left. These guys are actually kind of relaxing now that Kellen's not around. There is still a priest and an acolyte here. Kellen did not take any of the other priests with him.
So there's only 2 people actively here in the camp.
If you look around, there are slavers around here that are kind of watching the perimeter. Essen's watching over you guys, but you notice that he is not really paying much attention to you guys. He does, however, have keys with him, which he does not normally have. So, however it happened, it looks like he's got control of the keys to your stuff and to the wagons and whatnot. But there is a priest and an acolyte. I forgot to put them out. That are kind of wandering about.
Okay, so there's 2 actively patrolling the fireplace.
Yes, but they're talking amongst themselves because, for reasons, there are other things that are going on that they're very curious about, that are unusual.
Sir Nicodemus would like to try to find a stone that he can hide in his hand.
Okay, you do. No worries.
Being basically right near Skrull and everything, and I'm actively like looking around. Would I catch any of this at all?
What's your passive perception?
13.
Yes. Yeah, you would.
Alright, and I'm just gonna like gently check it with the gel kit with my foot, and just kind of like flex a little bit, but put my hand like a weight.
Okay.
Like, get ready, but hold the fuck up.
Yeah, I accidentally put you guys next to each other. They probably would have split you up. So there's another bonus for you guys right now. Is you're actually next to each other.
Yes.
How much slack is there, and is it rope or is it like chain?
No, it's chain. So your hands are manacled about this far, if you can see me, about this far apart. And then from the middle of that chain is a manacle and a kind of a fused chain forge weld to it, and it goes about maybe 3 feet to where it's staked in the ground. So you can't stand up with these manacles with the length of it, except for Nicodemus. He can. But you guys could squat with it, but that's about all you could do. And they did that specifically so you wouldn't be able to gain leverage on pulling up the stakes.
Is it possible for one of the artificers to put a spell on the orcs and give them some sort of strength bonus?
Good question. Check.
So, if we get a strength bonus, we will be able to yank those out of the ground. Possibly use them as weapons. No?
I cannot. However, I could cast Tasha's Caustic Brew, which is an acid.
Which can possibly melt.
Weaken the chain.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that'll be a good asset here in a moment. Give me a second here.
Who is conversing this idea towards Ian?
You're probably all looking at each other, and once you realize that some people are doing something, you're kind of all looking at each other and, moving your eyes to point at somebody else and, hiding the conversation, which you become fairly adept at over the last several months. So you're kind of all in the know, so to speak.
Sir Nicodemus would ready an action if a guard gets too nosy on us. I would like to run distraction while everybody's doing their thing.
Okay.
Meaning I would try to get their attention if I see them looking at somebody, the dagger crafting or any of that.
Sure.
I like to try to gather their attention with conversation.
Okay. And I wasn't looking at the camera. Who was speaking? I haven't got your names.
That was for Sir Nicodemus.
For Sir Nicodemus. Okay. Thought so. All you get is a kick from Essen. It looked like it's going to be pretty bad kick, right? Real strong and whatnot. It doesn't hit that hard though. It makes you go oof, but it wouldn't leave a bruise, right? Like that. And he
so
acts
his
like
variant human feat is actor. Got it.
yeah. And as he kicks you, because you're so small, he actually trips. And when he trips, a key falls to the ground at your lap.
I would like to palm that, please.
Okay, give me a deceit
or
roll.
Try to.
Let's see, that moves him over to here. And then after this, I've got something to tell you.
Not great.
Well, we'll see what
That's a 9.
Yeah, if anybody's looking at you, that could be trouble. About 5 minutes after that, the guards have been talking quietly amongst themselves. All of you have been doing this. It's taken about 5 minutes to kind of coordinate all this and get it done. About 5 minutes after that, the guards start as suddenly a rider on a black horse appears from the line of trees to the south, eerily quiet as it charges at the small group of guards. Within seconds, one of the guards is falling with his head smashed to a pulpy mass, his body twisting from the blow to knock over another guard. One of the guards runs to the warrior, he's already there with the key. The remaining guards draw weapons and turn to face the rider, who has disappeared back into the trees. It all happened with a muffled silence, which is uncanny, and obviously the guards are spooked. So this guard down here has been killed. This guard has moved over. This guard is getting up out of bed, and so is this one, where they were laying in the tents. And everybody's kind of talking. Nicodemus, Essen, Ian, well, actually all of you saw this kind of a dark rider riding through down here. Can you see where I'm dinging on the map?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then runs off and rode off this direction. And he looked like he was swinging some kind of a ball and spike chain. Spike ball and chain.
A flail.
Yeah, a flail.
No.
I would like to ready an action.
Okay.
Who is ready in action?
At this point, you guys can ready an action because we are starting initiative.
Yep. Ian. Okay, so everybody's ready in action.
Yep,
Did he get a hold of that key?
he did. He didn't.
Okay.
He didn't hide it very well. You guys are lucky that something happened to draw the guard's attention away. He kind of fumbled it a bit and whatnot. Slaver.
Ready. Rolling for initiative. Got it.
Yep.
I go through.
I rolled a 19.
Whoops.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
you have
roll.
to click the character first.
Yeah. Click on your
Yeah.
icon and then roll. Yep.
Yeah, my real roll was actually lower.
Well, that's
I have
better,
a
so.
I can make an adjustment if you need to, but right now I'm errors are going to
Sure.
go in your favor because you guys have been pretty. You're starting out in a pretty hosed position, so. I'd like to check in at this point. Is everybody okay with what's happened? I know I had some kind of torturous and slave captive kind of thing. Is everybody okay with what I've done so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Question.
Yeah.
Which one of these circles would be initiative?
Which one
Like
is
red, green,
None of them.
purple? None of them?
Yeah.
No.
So how do I roll initiatives? Sorry.
Somebody want to walk him through that while I finish the last couple
Yeah,
things
if
here?
you have D&D Beyond, open your character sheet, you just
Yeah.
click on the plus whatever for initiative.
But make sure that you have clicked on your token first and
Yeah.
then press it.
Click on my character.
Yeah, click on your character first, then click initiative.
Okay. There we go.
Getting everybody's initiative.
Yep. So we've got everybody on there. I think Kirame, Ian, Nicodemus, Jalket, Skrull, and Calamore. Okay, we got all of them. So starting off the initiative, Kirame.
Alright, I'm just gonna hold an action till any of the slavers or whatever gets within 15 feet,
Mhm.
and if they do, I'm gonna use my breath weapon to...
Is it
Yeah.
a line, a cloud? What
It
is
is
your breath
a
weapon?
15-foot cone.
15-foot cone. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to
And
trigger
I have
that
to
with
do
the first guard that gets into it, or do you want to wait until you've got a couple of them in a cluster?
No, the first guard that gets into it.
All right. Got it. And by the way, for you first-time players, how many of you is this the first time you've played D&D?
Wait, Jelkit.
Okay. So anytime you have a question about what order is, or anything that's going on, please speak up right away. I'm sure all of us can help you. A combat round is about 6 seconds or so, 6 to 10, but I usually cover it around 6.
Okay.
So 10 rounds a minute. Things happen very, very fast, and you guys can do a hell of a lot in 6 seconds, I'll tell you. But that's just the way the system's designed. So keep that in mind when you try and say things and do things. You're working under a 6-second clock. Everything kind of happens simultaneously, but we go in rank order to have some kind of, manageable fight. Ian, what do you do?
Alright, so Ian is going to cast Tasha's Caustic Brew at Jalkit's chain in an attempt to use the acid to weaken the chain.
Okay, and you're close enough for that. Go ahead and cast. What is the result? Or would you post the spell for me?
Yeah, sure, I can post a spell.
Thank you. I don't have all of them memorized in my head. Too many.
General, it'll be inside.
There
Beyond.
we go. It's a stream. Okay, 30 feet long and 5 feet wide. Are you sure you want to cast that at a chain with a guy standing anywhere near it?
Mainly, I'm throwing it at his stake more so than the chain itself. So I'm
Yeah,
aiming
but-
at the floor, at the stake.
It's the spillover. Think of the volume that you're going to be doing.
Yeah,
So,
I know it's going to be horrible, but that's a one way to get fucking Junket free to free others.
absolutely. Okay.
So-
Each creature in the land must make a succeed on a dexterity saving throw. Okay. I will give you a bonus on your dexterity save of +2 because of the extra care he's taking in aiming this thing. But you're also, the person casting it has been drugged, right? Is weak from hunger and things like that. So it's good. His targeting might be questionable this time.
Just
Yeah,
immediate
let
team
me-
TK.
Let me do my chronicalization.
Okay. Yeah.
Alright, Ooh, am I able to roll for something to try and hold my aim?
No, you're taking all the concentration you have just to try and cast the spell.
That's true.
Yeah. And aim it. You're just kind of shaking as you're doing this and concentrating really hard. Might even be getting a little bit of a headache from the focus. Jalket, that's the target, right? Jalket?
Jalket stake. But
Okay.
yes, Jalket.
So, Jalket, give me a dex save. You get an extra +2.
Alright.
Ooh.
7.
Ooh, that's...
I have a DC 16.
Okay. I saw a 5 there, so... So what do you mean DC 6? Oh, DC 16. Yeah, you you take how much damage? 2d4 damage?
2d4 per turn.
Okay, go ahead and roll me 2d4. Jalket takes splash damage from the acid shooting down at his feet.
Nice.
That'll wake him up.
He's a barbarian and gets 2 million.
Right?
But that should
Oh, he'll be free. He'll
he'll
be free.
be free.
It'll melt
I've
right
covered
through the
everything.
chains. Yeah.
Huh?
You look like a goober.
Did you roll the damage? I didn't see it pop up.
Oh yeah, I need to roll the damage. Hold on. There you go. Cast.
Thank you. All right. So you take 5 points of acid damage. Your flesh is burning, turning red, searing. The flesh is searing and smoking away. It's probably the most painful experience of your life, even more so than the torment and torture. So even if you get healed, you'll have pock marks, in your skin. We'll say most of it's near the hands, maybe a scar on your face, a little bit on your chest. It burns and it hurts. Sir Nicodemus.
So Sir Nicodemus, the paladin, is going to do his best impersonation of a rogue and try to use the key in his manacles and see if I can unlock it.
You easily unlock your manacles. Now you get a chance to unlock one of them right now. Do you want to unlock the one that is on one of your hands, or do you want to unlock the manacle that's attached to the spike?
I think I would like to do the one attached to the spike.
Okay. You undo that one, no problem. And so they had to kind of patch yours together. You're smaller than normal, so they couldn't use their normal chains on you. So you do that. You're free, but your hands are still bound. But you have the key firmly in hand. Acolyte reacts. You hear from somewhere beyond the tent, hey, what's going on over there? What's going on? That's pretty much all he does. He's just kind of trying to assess the situation. Jalket.
As I am free, but adrenaline is rushing and I'm in pain, is the guard walking towards us right now?
No. The only guard that's in movement right now is Essen. Everyone else is kind of looking your direction as the... If you want to try and hold back the pain and not cry out in pain as this horrific damage is being done to you, you can give me a Constitution save, and I'll give you a +2 because you've been beaten so much recently.
Okay, I'll do a Constitution.
Okay. Yeah, close enough. Yeah, you managed to grit and bear it, but barely.
My first move is to look at my brother and yank his. Because I'm free.
Yep.
I can stand now. I'll yank his stake out.
Okay.
Calibor.
Give me a strength save. There are no penalties.
Can I assist him?
Don't need to.
Or not?
He walks over there, squats down, grabs the ring and the spike, rips it up out of the ground. So now you have a flail-ish. you have your hands bound, the chain leading down to a 10-inch spike on a 4-foot chain. I wouldn't want to get hit with it. It's now time for the slavers. I'm going to make one general check their perception out. Give me just a moment. Yep. Let's see. Okay. They notice what's going on and say, "Hey, they're breaking free. They're getting out. Guards. They're breaking free. Yeah, there's somebody else here too. Watch out, he's on horseback." And this time, this guy comes out of the tent, and so does this one. This slaver's coming over to check out what's going on here and is just assessing. The archer is on the lookout for the man on the horseback. This guard moves over here and back towards the stump. This one backs up next to the tent and the tree to try and get some protection from whoever might be on horseback. And these guys out here move closer in, but block both sides. So the only one that really needs to be worried about is this slaver here. Kirame, you haven't been freed yet.
No, but I have my breath weapon that I was holding.
That's true. So that goes to this guy right here. What's the
That
DC
is
save?
a 12 DC dex save.
Okay. Okay. He saves. Does he take half damage?
Yes, he takes half damage, which is
2. I'll give you the benefit.
Okay.
2. Oh, necrotic. Nasty.
and necrotic damage.
Yeah, you managed to catch him in the shoulder, just under his face, and you see his tunic starts to burn and kind of degrade, and you hear him cry out as it penetrates through his leather armor and gets his flesh. He crawls out in pain. He's not expecting that at all. Very surprised. All right. Scrawl, your turn.
All right. I'm still bound, so
Yep.
who has not been unbound just yet?
Tell you what,
Was it-
I'm going to put a mark on the people who are unbound. Ian, are you unbound?
No, the only two unbound people is Nico and Calamore.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not Calamore. Nico and Jalket.
Jalket, that's what I thought. No,
I
and
didn't-
Calamore is too.
It's Calamore too.
Yeah, he's got the impromptu flail.
Oh, yep.
All right,
sorry.
so the ones with the blue dots are the ones that are free.
Wait, how did Calamore get free?
Jalket reached over and pulled his stake up.
Ah, okay.
Because
free-ish.
Yep, because Ian melted Jalket's chain manacles from the spike. Okay, Skrull, what are you going to take an action or just assess the situation this turn?
So, currently, did I successfully make that second dagger or no?
No, you made the first one.
Okay. So, what I'm going to do is right at the tri-point connection of these manacles, I'm going to shape water to freeze the current water around that tri-point. I'm going to stick a foot talon at the bottom, and I'm going to grab a hold with, like, basically trying to stand up and push down at the same time with one foot as I freeze try to freeze that
Right.
tri-point.
Can you go ahead and post that ability? I'm not sure if it reaches, liquid nitrogen stage or not, but we'll
I'm just hoping maybe that it would weaken it a little bit. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not going to be strong enough to pull off what you want. You know that ahead of time.
Okay, then
yeah.
all right.
I see what you tried, but yeah, the magic's just not powerful enough yet.
I get you. All right, so then in that case, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to. Is there still a dude sleeping in here?
No. That dude walked off, and the tents are shared by multiple people, and some of them went off with Kellen.
I'm going to try to use Mage Hand.
Okay. And do what?
I'm going to take a log out of the fire, and I'm going to launch it in this direction.
And try and hit that slaver?
I don't know if I want to hit it or if I want to set his tent on fire.
Right. Tent on fire is a much bigger thing to hit. That'll be interesting. It'll take a few moments to catch, but what a great idea.
So yeah, well actually what I'll do is I'll just, if I can get Mage Hand off, I'm just going to use the Mage Hand to grab the log, and I'm going to have Mage Hand float its ass 5, 10, 15, 20, and basically just plop it right in the corner of that tent.
You're a pretty smart bird. With Mage Hand, you could scoop up the coals themselves.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, we could do that.
And blast that bitch.
Yeah, that's right. You can start a fire much easier with the coals than you would the brand.
And just like pepper box that area.
Sure. Or just dump them right on the bed in there or something, or wherever.
Yeah, basically that's what I do. Just try to set that thing on fire, hopefully to try to distract.
Okay, give me a moment here. Roll me a percentage.
All right.
Can somebody read me? I'm in a different tab.
15.
15? Okay.
Hopefully this is like Call of Cthulhu rules. Lower is better.
No, higher is better.
No.
Higher is definitely better. But you rolled a 15?
Yes.
So, yeah, in this case, lower was better. You had a 20% chance of just igniting it on fire right at the get-go. So, there you go. You've got one tent on fire.
And do you allow bonus action cantrips or no?
It depends if if your class can specifically cast a spell as a bonus action.
Alright, I didn't know if you use that as like a homebrew rule or not. But then that's my turn then.
Yeah. Nope. Okay. Let's see. Scroll. I err on the side of 6 seconds. There's only so much you can do. But let me think on that homebrew rule a little bit, and maybe we'll change that next session. Callimore, you are free.
I'm gonna use that flail on the slaver that's right behind me.
Okay, give me a roll to hit. I'm going to give you a minus. You'll roll your normal to hit bonuses, right? Proficiency and all that. But I'm going to give you a -1 because of the type of weapon that it is.
Do you just want me to do an unarmed strike, or?
No. As with whatever weapon you would normally have, because this is a weapon.
We don't have any weapons in our inventory.
Oh, that's right.
So,
damn.
Yeah.
What would your bonus be? What's your strike
I'll add
bonus?
+6.
Okay, so +6 with your proficiency bonus?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a d20 over on the left-hand side. We'll just add 6 to it. Left-hand side of roll 20. Ooh. That didn't treat you very good. 9. Not quite enough. You turn around, you whip this thing over your head and lash it out at the slaver, but you just didn't get the technique down, and it kind of folds itself and misses the slaver. Kind of scrapes across the back a little bit. You got his attention, that's for sure. And now there's the horseman. The horseman comes back, makes his attack, and misses. This time you hear the horseman come back, and this time he's calling out kind of a war cry. Ay, ay, ah! Getting attention, and the guards all look up over at him really quickly as he strikes with a spear, and this time he comes into the middle of camp. Large black horse. For those of you, the warrior types, you can definitely tell this is a war horse. And he's steering it with his knees. He's got a flail, a spike ball and chain, and a shield. And he just, he has a spear and a shield right now as he's coming through. Kirame, your turn again.
All right. Well, am I able to hit both of the? Let's see. Can I hit both of these slavers with the breath weapon?
I'm not. That's right. You were not freed yet.
Nope.
It's a cone.
Yeah.
No, if you're shooting at this one, and you start your cone at this one, it's going to be pretty damn tight. Let me get a cone pattern here. Give me just a second. We'll use fire. Is it a 60-degree cone, which I think it is? 45, 50, I think it's this one. So this would come about right here. You'll miss Calumet. And what's the range on the cone?
15 feet.
All right, so 5, 10, 15. Yes, you can get them both.
Okay, I would like to do that.
It's going to be awfully close to Calamore, though. I mean, awfully close. You're going to have to be real precise. I.e., I might not be benevolent.
Yeah, then I'll just hit the one slaver in front of me then.
Oh, it's big damn hero moment time. You can do it. You know you wanna.
I want to, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm a little bit nicer. I'm not gonna burn my teammates.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a DC 12. It's a dex.
DC 12? Alright. Oh, he makes it.
Alright, well, he takes 2 damage.
How much?
I did 3 damage total, so.
Okay.
The same exact roll.
You got him. He's screaming in pain. I mean, you know, this is nasty necrotic damage. It's just as painful as acid is. Much rather be cut with a sword or something. Ian, what's your next?
And I'm gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just gonna try and move as far this way as I can. Just scooch over towards Scroll as best as I can.
Yeah, you can't really change positions on the map, but you're. I get it. You're trying to get closer to Scrawl.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
it for me.
Ian.
So, feeling bad for Jocket, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on. Oh wait, I can't touch him.
Yeah, can't touch him yet.
Can't touch him.
You can't touch this.
Ooh. Yeah, I guess the only thing I can do is cast Tasha's Caustic Brew again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hit the slaver right there.
Okay. You see that Essen has drawn his weapon now, and you see him heading towards that slaver. Do you want to go after this guy instead, the archer that's now drawing a bow?
Oh yeah, I even noticed the archer. Yeah, I'll hit the archer then.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. He's kind of hidden back in the trees. Okay. Is it a DC save on that again?
Yes.
Okay. Dexterity. He gets a 15.
He is saved.
Okay. Does he take half damage?
Touch Caustic Brew. Each creature in line throw. No, he is saved from the acid.
Okay. I'm going to give him, however, a wisdom save here. Okay. On his turn, he's going to be moving back into cover. You can tell you scared the shit out of him with that thing. All right, Sir Nicodemus. What do you do next?
Okay, so feet are free. What I would like to do is move towards Ian Sensor, because being half free is better than being not free.
Right.
And try to unlock Ian from the peg like I am. The hands will still be bound, but not unchained from the state.
Sure. You got it. He's free. Let me put a dot on him. Oops. Yeah, Ian, you just got freed by our son's. Jeez, you just got freed by Sir Nicodemus. Jeez, got tongue-tied there for a second.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Yep. So you are now unstaked, and my plan obviously is to continue to make sure everybody's unstaked before I worry about hands.
Okay. The acolyte then says, guards, the prisoners are escaping, get them. And he starts moving forward, 5, 10, 15, 20.
Do I have any movement left to try to get closer to Skrull?
Yes.
Okay, I want to go ahead and get there.
Okay.
So that way they can hopefully understand my intention.
Right.
Got a quick question. Would the chain, if improvised as a weapon, instead of being used as a flail, would be considered a whip?
No, the chain's not long enough.
Because I'm about to go fucking Ghost Rider.
Right, I figured you were.
I have a magic spell that allows me to go Ghost Rider.
Oh, nice. What is that? Can you post it for me?
Green flame blade.
Yeah, no, that'll be cool. But no, it is more like a flail than it is a whip. It's just not long enough to get a real whip-like action.
Okay.
Not at any range, anyway. Okay.
Would you say the chain is a melee weapon worth at least a silver?
I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah, well, copper, but yeah, we'll say a silver just to be benevolent. What are you doing?
I'm not doing
What does that mean?
I'm not doing anything right now. It's not my turn.
All right. Yeah, whose turn are we on? Sir Nicodemus just did that. The acolyte came over there.
Yes.
And he blesses this slaver. Slaver. Skrull, your turn. Oh, no. Sorry. Jalket.
Oh, okay. So how distracted is this boy?
Very. Actually, he turns over and watches the thing. This turn, he's kind of spending watching the tent ignite into flames.
So as this guy is still crying in pain, and I've freed my brother, I'm going to rush towards this guy and smash him in the head with my fist.
Okay, go for it.
All right, roll strength.
Yep. Let's see. So you get. I grabbed the right one, right? No, it's Skrull. We're at Jalket. Where is Jalket? There he is. All right. So yep, you get over there and yep, roll your strength. Or actually, you can roll on the unarmed combat
Okay.
die
So
down
roll
there.
that first. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
roll
do
that first.
then.
That's your to hit, and then your damage is just listed there. Okay, 12. That is enough to hit these guys. Okay, you whack him. How much damage did you do?
It says 12, and then unarmed strike also says +5.
Okay, so
It's base 1 as an unarmed.
yep. So he does 6 damage or 5? 5, I think.
It should be 6.
Oh, 6.
And I think it's considered blunt damage.
Yeah, it is. All right, you whack the slaver, and he kind of falls at the tent, but the canvas stops him from falling completely over, and he turns around to face you. He strikes back.
Is it the canvas on fire?
It is, but it's only over in the. It just started, so it's not a big conflagration yet.
Cool.
So knock him into it next round. That might be a different story. Okay, he attacks you, Jalket.
Okay.
11. What is your unarmored DC or AC?
Where is it?
No, just what's your dex bonus?
It's right under walking speed on your D&D Beyond.
Okay, looking for it right now. 11.
11?
Yes.
Okay. He hit you. And you take... Oh, come on, where'd it go? 3 damage. Do you know how
How
to,
many damage is it?
do you know how to apply the damage on D&D Beyond?
So just hit the down arrow. 1, 2, 3.
Yep, and then hit damage. Yep. Just like that. All right, that's that slaver. This slaver is blessed, and he comes in and goes after... Or, sorry, Essen charges him, and they fight.
What kind of damage did Jocket take? What
He
weapon
took
did-
a slashing damage. Okay, where am I going here? Guard attacking the other guard. He misses. Oh no, he hits and does his damage. Okay. This guard takes 5 more. Sorry, 5. Okay, I'm done playing with myself. Let's see.
That's what she said.
This slaver comes in and orders you to stand down, Jalcat. Get back down! Get back down or I'll run you through. This one here, it turns around and goes after Talon. Sorry, you don't know the name of your victor yet, or hero yet. Ooh, good thing that missed. What else I got? These guys are still watching out for them. Get those guys under control! One of them yells. This one goes back further into the trees because you scared the crap out of him. Okay, the slavers are done. Scrawl, your turn.
All right. Can I shake free the ice dagger for
Yep,
Kirame?
sure can.
All right, and then would that have been my action to do that? Or?
No, that's a free action.
All right. So then, action. I'm going to try to use Toll the Dead on this guy right here.
Okay.
For right next to Kirame.
Yep.
Am I still coming off the drugs?
Yeah, but it's for the most part out of your system now. The adrenaline helps flush the last of the effects.
He took damage, right, from breath weapon?
Wait.
Hold on, coming back. Breath weapon was at Jocket. Jocket took damage.
Yeah,
This dude?
This slaver
take
here
damage
took
at all?
damage. Yep.
No, he took damage. He took damage twice. The slaver
Okay,
right
so
in
then-
front of Kirame.
It rolled right then.
Yeah, this guy's taking damage. Yep. So this one's been hurt. This one's been hurt. And this one's been hurt. So what are you gonna do, Scrawl?
Oh, I already rolled it.
Oh,
Hold it
I'm
up.
sorry.
On that guy right there.
Okay. Wisdom DC 13. Thank you. Okay.
What are you doing?
You hit
again?
him.
Toll the Dead.
Toll of the Dead. So 5 necrotic damage. You said it was which guard? This one right here?
Yep, right next to Kirame.
Yep. All right.
And he's just yelling magic at him.
Yeah. Magic! 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 Magic!
It's a bit of chirps.
How much damage are we doing?
He did 5 points, so that's 8 points he's taken total. All right. After
Yeah, that's my
Scrawl
turn.
is Calamore.
Just real quick, I would know the difference in like the threat levels of these guys, right? Like I would know that the acolyte and the priest were more dangerous than the slavers, or no? Are
Yeah,
they more
it's
dangerous?
not as from a combat aspect, but just from the terror aspect of what they put you through. They're the bosses, and the other guys are scared of them because they come from a theocracy, right? So you get the emotional feeling that the acolyte and the priest are much more powerful than the guards are, because they kowtow to them.
Okay, so I'm going to use my movement, and I am going to go ahead and move here to this acolyte.
Okay.
And I'm going to make my flail strike to him.
Okay.
I'm just going to use the unarmed.
Sure. That's with your +6. You rolled a 2, huh? Ouch. You swing and miss at the acolyte. You came very, very close. He kind of ducks his head back this way as this thing comes at him. And it just merely misses his throat. And his eyes go wide as this happens. You hear a high piercing whistle. And then... get this one on the thing. Sorry, this is taking me a moment here, waiting for things to catch up to me. A wolf comes in. You hear the growling and snarling Jowcat as it leaps up at the back of the slaver. And it reaches up and knocks this slaver to the ground and is tearing at his throat.
Okay. This slaver?
Yes, this one right here. So I'm going to put I'll put a wrench on him just because. Okay, so those two are kind of in the same pile there. This startles this slaver. You'll have advantage on the next strike. Matter of fact, I meant to do this earlier. Because of all the work you did on your characters and how well you role-played in the setting, and I know I started you guys rough, I'd like to give everyone an inspiration die.
Ooh.
Nice.
I apologize for not giving that before combat started. We'll just say that this arrival of this mysterious writer has inspired you all to take your moment and get yourself free.
Has this slaver dropped his weapon?
Oh yeah, probably.
Okay. I see that looks like a sword. I'm going to grab that sword, and as he is still distracted, I'm gonna use the weapon and hit him. I do not have a weapon in my inventory.
Okay.
So I don't know how to add that and roll with it. I can type sword.
I got distracted by something. Who's doing what now?
It's my turn. So this guy over here, this guard, has been attacked by a wolf. He's tearing up his throat. I'm grabbing his weapon, and while he's distracted because his buddy over here is dying, I'm gonna grab his sword, attack him.
If you go to your inventory tab on D&D Beyond, and you, underneath where it says your gold, click on Manage Inventory, and you can search for what weapon he had on him.
Okay.
If it was like a rapier or whatever.
How do I add an inspiration die?
I'm sorry, you broke up.
D&D Beyond.
Add a what?
How do I add an inspiration die on D&D Beyond?
There's a little sun symbol that's up in the upper right area of the character sheet. It's just an empty box with a sun symbol in it. And if you hit that, the sun symbol will turn red.
Okay. What kind of weapon did this guy have? What kind of sword do I search for?
Just use like a longsword. It's just a different shaped longsword. It's like a falchion.
So I'll just select...
Or a scimitar.
The first one that pops up is a longsword. I'll just select that.
Yeah, that's fine. Damage is going to be the same. The appearance is different, so...
Alright, longsword has been added.
And you can use it as two-handed, of course.
It's, I can.
Actually, here what? It's a falchion, not a long. I mean, call it a longsword. It's a falchion, but hitting with it one-handed is like hitting two-handed with a longsword.
Okay.
It's designed to punch in and shear into flesh.
Now, I have the option in damage to 1d8 plus 3 as slashing, or would I do hit/DC?
You do 1d8 plus slashing damage
Okay.
once you've successfully hit. Okay. We need to hit roll first before the damage.
Hit roll would that be D20?
Yes. Plus your bonus of strength. So what's your strength bonus? Okay. Perfect. So 14, that hits, and 13 kills him outright.
Nice.
Yeah, you grab this sword up from the ground as the wolf is snarling over the top of this other guard. You scoop it up into your manacled hands. The blade itself comes out about the width of a longsword, but after about the first 8 inches, it kind of bows out into a much thicker blade, maybe 5 or 6 inches wide, and comes to a point, and you just grab it, turn around both hands, and just cut him right through the neck and shoulder area. Blood sprays all over you, and the tent, the body falls back into the tent as it collapses and bursts farther into flames.
Scream in victory and grab the other slaver's weapon.
Okay.
Do I still have an action left, or as in tossing the weapon over to Hirame, possibly?
Sure.
Okay, I would do that. I'll grab this dude's weapon, as he's dead now, and I'll toss it over to Kirame.
Okay. Kirame, what are you gonna do?
And is that just another sword?
Yeah, it's like the falchion.
Yeah.
So just count it as a long
Okay.
sword, and when you roll damage, roll it as two-handed.
Yep. Alright, well, I guess I'll just use that.
First,
sword.
make a dex DC to catch it. You need a 10.
Yep. Save or regular?
Save.
24.
You snatch it out of the air, use its momentum to turn, spin over the top of you, and attack down. I'll give you an extra +1 to hit.
Alright, that'll get an 18 then.
That's easy. Go ahead and roll the two-handed longsword damage.
Yep. Alright, well that didn't transfer over. I rolled a 10
Okay.
with no modifiers.
Okay, so I think that's just going to be a 10, right?
Yeah.
No, plus a strength for damage.
I don't have anything for strength.
Okay. So, but 10 is more than enough to end him. You come sweeping through, and you actually mostly behead this poor guy.
Oof.
Yeah, you cut in through the neck, and there's just a flap of skin that is left over, kind of keeping his head on there. His body staggers backwards and starts to actually walk. Let me get my thing, and actually starts to walk this way a little bit before it drops to the ground.
Brutal.
All right, Ian.
My wife just bought me Taco Bell, so
Get
I'm hungry. That was fucking brutal. All right, so with my chain in hand, I'm going to cast a very fun spell. The spell of Green Flame Braid.
Oh, awesome.
And my chain, now glowing green with flames, I'm going to rush and attack this guard, assisting Essence.
Okay.
Let me chronicleize that from my end.
What was the question?
Give me 2 seconds, I gotta fucking chronicleize. Rush. Cool. And now I gotta roll to see if hit. This would be counted as an unarmed, correct?
Correct. No, it's you're using the chain as the weapon, right?
Yes.
And that it's going to count as with a weapon. So you get your precision or prestige bonus or whatever the hell that thing is. Not prestige.
I don't have a bonus or really anything.
Oh, okay.
Proficiency bonus.
Proficiency bonus.
Proficiency
right.
bonus. Okay. Well, it's 20 plus 3.
Oh yeah, you
You're
hit
using
without
an improvised weapon.
It's 20 to hit. I'm sorry. It's 17 plus 3.
How much damage does an improvised weapon do?
That is a good question. I would say it's a base of 1, depending on the improvisation weapon. It's up to the DM at that point.
I'm going to call it a base of 3. You got a chain and a big spike on the end of it, and now it's got the magic damage. Go ahead and let's see. What's your strength bonus?
No, my strength is plus 1.
Okay, so base of 3 plus 1 plus the 2 for your magic.
So I have the choice of leaps, different creature. So I attack him. He gets the flames, and I can have it leap from that dude to another dude I see. So I have this dude who's going to catch on fire. Then I'm going to jump the flame onto the acolyte right there.
Gotcha. Okay, so he takes...
Second creature takes fire damage equal to my spell casting modifier. They both take damage from my spell casting modifier, which is 4. So, I'm sorry. Not 4. So, acolyte takes 4. The main guy takes my intelligence plus my spell casting, which is 8. So, he takes whatever base damage it did with my... So this dude.
Gotcha.
Base damage plus 8. This dude takes 4 straight up.
If I get this correct, the flames cause most of the damage to this guy, and he burns up and collapses to the ground. For some reason, it's not letting me. There we go.
How much damage was that?
More than enough to kill him, unless you need the exact number for chronicling. I think he took.
Yeah, exact numbers.
Whatever he rolled for the damage plus 4.
Okay, so I rolled 2 plus 1, which is 3 for strength, plus 8.
8.
That is 11
right.
fire damage.
And he had been already hurt, so he takes total damage of 16. He collapses. Now, how much damage does the acolyte get?
Acolyte takes 4 fire damage.
4 fire damage. Is there a save that he can get for that?
No.
Wow, that's potent.
Wait, let me reread. No, there is no save that he can make.
Wow. Okay. Now I had skipped some people last time, so I'm going to have to fix that on this way through. So I apologize for that. Nicodemus, go ahead.
Okay, so Nicodemus now is going to continue the unchaining from tethers, and is going to now unchain Scrawl from their spike, and going to look at Scrawl and say, Scrawl, it's time for you to magic.
Magic with magic.
And my movement's going to be to come over here to Kirame, because that's the last one I need to unchain from the spike.
Okay.
So
no
if you're
problem.
on a blue dot, Scrawl.
Yep.
And that is my turn. I'm spending it all helping with the, what is it, Eric? Oh, he has no spell book.
The acolyte attacks at you with a hooked knife, Calamore.
AC 14.
And he hits you. You take a total of
Second,
5 damage.
what type?
Bludgeon. Boy, when you say chronicle, you mean chronicle. Holy cow!
Yeah, I told you I'd take notes.
No fudging dice rolls for me.
Whatever you tell me the dice. Here, I'll even give you the fucking thing so you can look at it right now.
Oh no, it's fine. No, we're cool, dude. It's totally fine. So how much damage did he just do to you? 5, I think. Yeah. Okay. So that one's the acolyte's done. Jalket, you get 2 turns, I think, because
I think I get 1. No.
You get 1. It's everybody else that gets 2. Got it. Okay, Jalket,
Yes.
go ahead.
Alright, who's alive? This.
You've got more. Yeah, you've got slavers that are coming in. Some of them you might not be able to see real well. It is dark. It is raining. So spotting the
Yeah.
guys in the trees is a little difficult.
So even though it's dark, one of my abilities is I can see in the dark.
Okay.
That's called dark vision.
Yep, dark vision. Yep.
So I have dark vision. I can see up to 60 feet.
Yep. You're
And
seeing in
I'm
a
also-
grayscale.
Yes, and also have a very intimidating personality. So
Okay.
I'm going to, even though I'm damaged, is this guy freaking out because his buddy just got beheaded and died right in front of him?
You're not sure. He's screaming, but now instead of words and challenges and things like that, it's a little bit more incoherent. But you definitely see him turn and start to come your direction.
All right, I'm going to lunge forward, using my intimidating personality and dark vision because I can see better than this guy.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do so savage attacks is also when you score a critical hit, I guess. Is that random or is that something I can use?
That's random. Yeah, if you roll a 20, you'll get a critical hit.
Okay, so I'm gonna move toward. I know this guy is behind the tent. He's also a threat, but he's in my line of sight.
Yeah, this guy here, you're not sure about. He was out here earlier, so you're not really sure where he's at right now, but you definitely know this guy.
Okay, so as he approaches me, I'm gonna rush towards him with with the sword in both my hands.
Okay.
And I can see him better than he can see me. So I'm gonna move up to him and I'm gonna swing at him with all my might.
He's actually, with the backdrop of the fire here that you're moving through, he can see you pretty clearly. I mean, might not be definition, but he's close enough to it that he gets torchlight kind of thing, and you're silhouetted.
Okay.
So go ahead. Hands overstretched. You're yelling your war cry. Go ahead and roll your to hit.
So would that be strength first? Or
yeah, since we don't have it, it's strength first plus your precision bonus. So not precision. Oh, come on. What is the name of that thing? Why am I not remembering it right now?
Perception?
No. It's the bonus you get for being proficiency bonus. That's what I'm trying to say. Jesus.
Okay.
Criminy. I'm old and feeble. Forgive me.
So strength.
13, you hit.
Okay.
Because you get your proficiency bonus
with
on
the
that.
weapon. I hit the 1d plus 3.
Yep. Okay. So two-handed, you did 5 damage plus your strength.
Okay.
So how much total is that?
So strength is 13. Slashing damage is 5.
Yeah, so the 13 gives you a +1 or a +2. I think that's a +1, isn't it?
Plus, I mean, plus 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay,
Plus we have
so
inspiration as well.
you come down and put a big cut through his studded leather armor, and you see blood come out through the gash in his chest.
How much total and what type of damage is that?
Slashing.
Alright, cool. 6 slashing damage?
Correct. The slavers. Now, I don't think I had them go last time. So I'm going to have him attack back at you.
But does inspiration help with the attack damage?
No. Inspiration allows you to re-roll a die. Basically gives you an advantage on an attack or advantage on a roll.
Was I supposed to roll a d20 on this as well?
Yep, you hit, so there's no sense in wasting the inspiration die. Yeah, so if you had rolled and missed the hit, you could have used your inspiration die to re-roll it.
Okay.
Okay, so 11. What is your Jauquet? What is your AC without armor?
11.
11. Okay, he hits you, and you take 6 damage.
I'm dead.
You're dead? How far down are you?
Oh, I'm at 3 of 6, but my health drops to 1, and I have to go into long rest, I believe.
So if your health drops to 1, now you're still conscious. It's 0, you drop unconscious.
Okay. So
And
it
if
would
it goes
drop to 0.
Yeah, and if it goes if it goes below 0, then you're dying.
Okay, I'm dying.
Okay. How far below are you?
You are a half orc, sir. You can decide not to die once a day.
Ah!
Oh,
That's true. That's true.
Are you going to
Inside-
refuse dying?
I don't feel.
so what do I do for that?
Just say, I don't want to die.
Relentless endurance. When you
Yeah,
are
that's
reduced to
good.
0 hit points but not killed, you can drop to 1 HP instead.
Okay.
I can drop to 1 HP instead.
Yep,
Alright,
so heal yourself up to 1 HP. Damn.
How much damage did that attack deal?
That attack dealt 6.
6 slashing.
Yeah. Okay. Slaver. I'm running out of slavers. Slaver attacks the wolf. Poorly. Oh no, he gets a 20. You hear a yelp from the wolf as he gets cut horribly. The wolf takes 6 damage. And he falls back. You hear the man on the horse screams out "no" at the top of his lungs, and turns to face him. So let's go to Scrawl. You get 2 turns because I screwed you on the last one.
All right. As I was freed, this guy did. Does it look like he carries kind of like a side blade at all?
Yeah, they're all carrying at least a dagger.
All right. So on my way over, can I scoop up my ice dagger
Uh-huh.
and then grab the one off of him?
Okay. You
So
got it?
that would have been 5, 10, 15, 20.
Mm-hmm.
So main action, I'm going to use the regular dagger on him, and
Okay.
then if I use an attack action with a light melee weapon that you're holding in one hand, I can use a bonus action to attack with a different light melee weapon than holding
Yes.
the other.
Yep.
So I've got a regular dagger and the ice dagger.
Right. Go
Alright,
ahead.
So regular dagger first.
Yep. Hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. Damn. He drops. You run right up for him. Are you yelling out or anything as you're doing this, or do you just run up silently
Nope.
and
Run up and try to stab him in the femoral.
do you scream? Say "scrawl"? I'm kidding. Run right up, and because of your height, you run right up and drive that dagger straight into his nuts. Piercing straight up into his abdomen, perforating the colon and lower intestines. And as you rip the blade out, most of those colon and intestines just kind of fall out between his legs, and he falls back screaming, coughing up blood.
Ooh.
Some
Brutal.
If I'm too graphic, please let me know.
Brutal.
I love it. Very good.
Nah, we love this shit.
All right, good deal.
I'm gonna finish up my 30 feet of movement for that turn, and then for the second one, this dude messed up the wolf with something, right?
Yeah, there's a guy rolling around right now. He's kicking the wolf off of him and pulling a blade out of his side.
Oh, so he's prone.
He's on his knees. Yeah, so
So
consider him
prone?
prone. Yeah.
Okay. So 20 feet for the next turn.
Fuck him up!
And
Fuck
we're
him up!
getting him out of- since he's
Look at the
prone,
little
that's
bird
advantage,
go.
right?
Oh, that is. I think so.
Okay. Wow, that's a hit. All right.
And then second one with the ice dagger. And I think
you don't
that
need to
is
do a second
non-
one. The first
Oh,
one
I don't?
kills him. Yep. You run right through after killing the other guy, and you come right through and just shiv him right into between the neck and the shoulder. He coughs up blood all over you as he was turning to face you and trying to rise up off of his knees, and he just falls backwards, blood spraying across the trees here, the bushes.
All right. That's my turn.
Okay. Calamore.
Second first, same as the first. I'm trying to hit the acolyte in front of me.
Okay.
Maybe I can make one good roll this game so far.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Almost got him. Almost. So you come through and you're whipping that chain around again, right?
Yeah.
Whips the chain around, and you see it kind of whips right across his back, across the studded leather that he's wearing, and kind of hits his elbow a little bit, and you can tell he just jars forward and kind of doesn't cry out in pain more than he just kind of grunts with the bruising he just took from it, but he doesn't fall. So go ahead, Calamore, and take your second turn that I screwed you out of.
Seeing that my weapon apparently can't hit its mark, I'm gonna just try to tackle the motherfucker.
You got it. Go ahead. Give me a grapple roll. Just a
Athletics.
Yep. Okay. You take him right down. You are both prone. I will put a red dot on both of you. Dang it, I can't. There we go. All right.
When I grapple him down, can I kind of like roll him on top of me and just yell, "Stab him"?
The most you can do right now, because you tackle him and you fall back into the tent. So the tent canvas is kind of holding you up, but it's giving a little bit. It's kind of like trying to wrestle somebody in a bouncy house. It's which I've done, and it's an interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting time, I'll tell you.
I have kids too. I've wrestled people in bouncy houses.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
They win.
They win. Yeah. All right, and then the trees are brushing up against that and over it too, so you're kind of in a mess. Then it goes to Talon. Talon gets 2 attacks. He's very angry about the whole wolf thing. So he actually rides over, looks at you, Scrawl. Who's down there? Just Scrawl. Looks at you and says, "The wolf, does he live?"
Squawk.
What the fuck?
I'm just gonna put my hand on my chest and be like, "Scrawl."
Be clear, man. What the hell is that? I don't even know what you are. God, blast it. And then he turns. Is it Scrawl? And what does he do? He says, "You need more than that dagger here." And he kind of tosses a spear to you. He readies his morning star, and he comes riding over here, sees this guy, and swings at him. What am I doing? Morning star, there it is. And I show it to him and say, "I almost hit you with this, and I will almost hit you with it again." He uses action surge and swings again. Oops, not damage. I want to roll the hit. Okay, that one hit him. All right, that guy kind of cries out in pain as Talon comes up and swings a morning star around him twice, almost hitting him, but then comes around the second time and nails him. Who do we got next? Kirame, back to you.
I'm just gonna try and dig the stake out of the ground with the sword. Just try and, help myself free out as much as possible.
Okay. What am I trying to think of here? You go ahead and get yourself out of the shackles. The key from Sir Nicodemus would get you out of that.
Well, if I can do that, yeah, I'll just do that then.
Yep.
I think Nicodemus already. No, Nicodemus just moved up to Carabay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you toss
So
Kirame the
you can
key.
obviously take the key.
Yeah. So now Kirame has the key and he's unlocked himself. So he gets the infamous blue dot.
Yeah, and then I'll guess I'll move over to really the only other fighting I see left. That
Wait,
way
is
probably.
Kirame a female or a male?
Female.
female.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was using the right stuff.
Right. Hard to tell under all those scales.
Yeah. Probably just move myself to that
Okay.
square. And that'll be it for me.
Okay. Ian.
All right, 1 second.
Essen looks over at you and says, Ian, your friend's free?
Yes,
The priest. We must take out the priest.
I got it. I'm gonna run right up to the priest.
It's going to be difficult moving through there. It's difficult terrain, so it's going to cost you double movement to get through it. It's one of the reasons the priest hasn't come over this side yet either.
Oh wait, I'm just 10 feet short.
Yep.
I'll be able to move right here, but I won't be able to do anything except cast Tasha's Caustic Brew.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and cast Tasha's Caustic Brew. That's a dexterity save, is it?
Yep, dex save 14.
Okay. No, I don't have the. I do have the priest in here. Priest dex save. He gets a 12. What's your save?
14.
14. Okay, he takes the full. All right.
He takes 7 from the initial strike, and then every turn he takes 2d4.
Okay. For how long?
Until he gets the acid off of him, which, considering I just streamed 30 feet worth of it on him, probably a lot.
Well, it should have a duration for how long it lasts, how many rounds it lasts.
Casting duration, concentration up to 1 minute.
Okay, so if all you do is concentrate, it'll last for 10 combat rounds.
Yep.
That is brutal. Nasty. Okay, Sir Nicodemus. What does a paladin do?
Well, at this point, since everybody is freed up from the stakes, I guess I want to go to this slaver's body and look for a weapon.
Okay, easy enough. There's a scimitar laying on the ground. Or, yeah.
Scimitar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is better than trying to throw a rock.
Mm-hmm.
So I will pick that up.
Okay.
And there are no enemies near, correct?
No, you see Talon. As a matter of fact, I forgot to roll for his warhorse. Give me a second here. You see the horse reins up like this and comes down on top of him. Ooh, that's going to be a brutal hit.
Ooh. Let me add that.
And you
So
hear...
that dude there is getting effed up.
Oh, he's... the horse rears up at this point. I'm sorry it's out of turn sequence, but it actually goes with the flow pretty well. Talon walked up and nailed him, and then the horse rears up and gives a big, bold whinny. And you see something really strange. He's pretty much an all-black horse, but you see his feet are covered in white. And... or gray, I should say. And the feet come down and trample him, and you just see his face gets kind of caved in, and his chest cavity gets caved in as the horse comes down on him and tramples him.
Cool.
Who are we
Nice.
at? Nicodemus, that's right.
Yes.
So
having grabbed a blade, I mean, the first thing I want to do is look for enemies that we got to take out.
You did hear
hear
somebody Essen yell to Ian by name and says, "The priest, we must take out the priest."
I got him!
And then some screaming happens.
All right. Well, the little halfling legs are going to little halfling run. Each grid is 5.
Yes.
All right. So that'll be my movement, grab a weapon, and then the rest of my movement.
Okay. Done.
And no time.
The acolyte, who is pinned, tries to extract himself from said pinning. Where is his athletics? He doesn't really have athletics, so it'll be a strength roll. Yes, athletics is off strength, not dex, correct?
Correct.
All right. Ooh, he breaks free of you and stands up. That's his action. Do I have for the acolyte? Jalquette, your turn.
Alright. With whatever strength I have left, I rush towards my brother and toss my sword towards him.
Okay.
So, how do I move do the 30...
You just count each square as 5 feet. Oh, yeah, there you go.
How do I draw that? How do I draw that?
To do the arrow, you look for the symbol on the upper left vertical column. It looks like a power button called Snap to Grid. Click on that. There you go. And if you right-click on it, it'll do a waypoint that you can then set another one if you need.
Let's see here. Draw shape. Freehand. Oh, wait. Sorry. I don't have to remove that.
It's underneath the magnifying glass.
I see it.
There you go.
Is it snap to center? No snapping?
Yep.
Snap to center.
It's snap to center.
Okay, there we go. My movement is about 31 feet. So I'll move here.
Okay.
And then Calamore is right there, so I'll toss my sword to him.
Calamore is actually on the ground and just got disengaged from grappling. Chances are this turn he probably won't even see it coming. There's also branches off of there. He's bouncing off the bouncy house. It's a pretty chaotic mess over there.
Can I throw the sword towards the acolyte like a spear?
Oh, sure. You want to try and huck that and make a big damn hero moment? Sure.
Yeah.
It's not very aerodynamic, so this is just going to be your base roll. You won't get your strength or your proficiency bonus with it. Well, you get your strength. Dex.
So I will move up here. I have no dex, but whatever I can do to save my brother, I'm going to move up 30 feet with 1 hit point left.
Okay.
That I'm still alive.
Okay.
I'm going to move up 30 feet, and I'm going to throw the sword like a dagger.
Sure.
Towards the acolyte.
You got it. Go ahead and move to where you want to be.
Alright, moving here.
Okay. To get your movement thing back, go up to the very top with the black arrow. Click that. And click select move.
Okay.
Okay. And now give me that roll plus your dex.
So I will do a strength. You said I just do the hit DC, not the damage, correct?
Here's how we're gonna do it. Go ahead and just roll a dex save because that'll include your save bonus. That's your to hit, and then you'll get the sword damage and the strength bonus for the damage as normal.
Okay, so that's that.
Should be hard to hit.
And sword damage.
So a 12 to hit. No, you got a 20 to hit. Holy cow!
And strength as well. You said.
Just go ahead and roll the longsword for damage.
No, the 20 was the damage for the longsword.
Oh, 20 was the damage?
Fuck, alright.
How does he get a 20 out of that? Let's see.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Probably a crit. Did you roll crit?
No,
yes, I do get crit.
No, he didn't. Go ahead and click
the longsword is rolling a 1d20 plus 5.
Yeah,
That's
so that
why
was
it's a 20.
That was the hit. So go ahead and click the purple button that says longsword and roll 20.
Purple button.
That'll roll the damage. There you go. So one-handed slashing, 9 points. Damn. Nice.
And that was me by accident.
Oh, that's all right. Doesn't matter. It's the same thing. So he, let's see, the acolyte.
He literally
dies.
just took a sword, said, "Here, take this."
He takes the sword
Take this.
straight to the center chest. Yeah,
I want to stab this dude, but he's so fucking far away.
So you hurl this sword across and through the air, and sinks right into his diaphragm, right up to the hilt. Sword
can I
comes
say?
out
I'm
the
a big
back.
dude.
He splashes blood out of his face. Kind of gives a little and falls back into the bushes, dead.
As the acolyte dies, I look over to her squalls and said, 2 for 2.
Awesome.
We're even.
What up, Moon?
Okay. Then after that amazing mess, it goes to the slavers. I'm out of them. Wow.
Yeah, the priest.
Yep, the priest goes on. That's right.
Priest takes 2d14.
Yep, I forgot to shift the order. Let's do that. All right, so the priest casts a spell at Ian Sunsword here.
Priest takes 6 acid damage.
Oh, thank you. I gotta make a concentration check for him. Oh, okay. He makes the save. How much damage did he take?
6.
Okay. Come on now. Okay. He took the damage. He screams out in pain, and he casts guidant bolt on you, and a flash of dark light streaks across the distance between you and him. Here comes the ranged attack damage. Where's his ranged attack? Oops. For some reason it doesn't give me the ranged attack on this thing. That's too bad. So 12. Does that hit you, Ian?
Oh, hits.
What?
Hits.
Okay. You take 4d6 damage.
Oh, man, I'm about to get my shit rocked.
Yeah, this is going to hurt. $12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage.
16 damage.
Yep.
What kind of damage is it?
This is, let's see if I look at this correctly. Doesn't really say the type. Radiant
Guiding
damage.
bolt is radiant,
It's radiant damage.
I think that kills me.
How much negative do you
Oh,
go?
I have 15. I have 15 health.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm knocked down to 0, so I'm unconscious.
You're unconscious. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this hits. You're also haloed in a dark nimbus of dark black, purpley, deep purple flame.
Okay, I can't edit my character. Oh, there it is. Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm also radiating light, you said?
Yeah, a dark purplish light nimbus is around you. Yeah.
How far out does it go?
Not far. It just kind of highlights you. Okay. Who's next? Priest has done his thing. Jalquette just went, right?
Mm-hmm.
Slavers are out. Calamore.
With the sword and the acolyte in front of me, can I kind of take inspiration from Jalquette and try to do the same thing with the priest? Take it and throw it.
Absolutely, you can rip it out of the flesh of him, blood streaming from the blade, and fling it. You're gonna have to move to be able to do it. You have to get to at least here, otherwise you can't see him because of the tent. It's rough terrain, but you should be able. You can get there easily.
Alrighty, yeah, I'll go there.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a roll plus your dexterity bonus. So a dexterity save probably.
God damn it.
Oh, and you fling it right in the ground in front of you. Don't forget, you barbarians can rage.
What type of weapon did you just try to throw?
A sword. It was the same sword that Jauquet stuck in the acolyte's chest. Where's Kellamore? Scrawl! What are you gonna do, bud?
I'm trying to figure out if I moved to this space, would I have vision on the priest at all?
No. Too much dense foliage in a tree anyway.
Would you be able to see through the tent to him?
Mm-hmm. Flaps are down on both ends. Keep the rain
Damn
out.
it. Damn it. Well, I am going to runneth thine pockets of this guy right here.
Okay. Not much there. They've got all their belongings in tents or on the wagon and things like that. But he's wearing studded leather armor. He's got a sword next to him. He's got a dagger at his hilt. He's got a pouch with some small, stuff, some string, little folding knife, that kind of stuff.
All right, so since I'm holding, I'm assuming I didn't actually attack with the ice dagger, so I'll just toss the ice dagger away and I'll grab the other actual dagger off of this dude.
Got it. The wolf is still alive. He's laying on his side, bleeding very badly, and whimpering.
Okay. I'm just gonna duck into the tent.
Okay.
And see what's going on in here.
There's several bedrolls, some boxes for personal items. Not a trunk, but just some personal boxes, maybe about this big.
Is it possible to do the search action on that box?
Next turn, absolutely.
All right, cool.
Okay, Talon goes, he finishes that off, and then he rides, he calls out to all of them, "How fare ye all?"
I'm fucked up. Scrawl.
Scrawl.
I'm loving Scrawl. He turns, rides over here, and dismounts his horse. That's it. Actually, no, he's going to go over here and go check on the wolf. So he dismounts his horse and looks after the wolf real quick. Karame.
Alright, I'm gonna do what I can to get over to Ian.
Okay.
So
10, 15, 20 feet puts you here.
So, can I go through here?
Yes, it's just rough terrain. So, oh, God, you have to get close enough to touch him, don't you?
Well, I don't have any healing. So,
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to get in between him.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
about
priest.
as... you can get to about here, is about as close as you can get.
And then that would be 30 feet. So,
Yep.
can I dash to there?
Yes.
So, I will just go ahead and just do that.
Okay.
And... yeah, I'm just gonna stand in front of him, and that's my turn.
Okay. Ian, sorry.
I'm gonna have to roll a death save.
Yep.
I gotta easier. Alright, death save, let's go.
I love it, Scrawl. Someone get this horse. Beat the fuck
Gotta
out.
get 16. Alright, I got one success.
Good. Good deal. Hanging on there.
Much
The acolyte
way now.
gurgles in his last gasps of breath. Sir Nicodemus.
All right, so short legs here. He's going to move his 25 feet towards Ian.
Okay.
Now, is this rough terrain, or is this where it becomes rough
It's all
terrain?
no, it's all rough terrain wherever the leafage is. The low branches and bushes, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, my 25 feet is there.
Right. You could dash and be there for
And-
next turn.
You said I can dash and then lay on hands next turn?
Yeah.
Then that's what I'll do, is I'll dash through the roughage over here,
Okay.
and that is end of turn.
Okay. So Sir Nicodemus, the priest goes. Dun, 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 dun.
Sorry, Sunsor, you're gonna have to do another death save.
That's fine.
A floating, spiked mace appears in front of Calamore.
What does the priest do?
That's what the priest is doing. He's casting spiritual weapon. Let's see. Blink. There you go.
Is he able to make an attack with a spiritual weapon this turn?
That's what I'm looking for now. When you cast a spell,
Yes.
you can make a melee weapon. Yep. Okay. So his melee weapon attack is this. Does not hit you. So this mystical spiked and bladed mace appears in front of you and starts swinging at you. Priest is done. Jauquet.
All right. So does Essen? I look at Essen and I'm like, if he has any healing potions.
They're in the wagon behind. I'll go get them.
Okay.
So he'll go
In the
in your turn.
meantime-
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So he runs down here.
Okay.
Okay.
From this guy over here, he also had a weapon. I'll grab his weapon.
Okay.
I'm gonna move towards him.
Okay.
Oh, you got it.
I forgot to say, priest takes acid damage again.
Oh,
Wait, no,
thank
I'm
you.
unconscious. Can't hold it.
That's you're unconscious. Yes, so it stops, right?
Yeah. Yep. Stops. I'm unconscious.
So I move 5 feet towards this guy.
Okay.
Um,
Grab his weapon.
I grab his weapon.
He's got a mace.
Okay, I grab the mace. Then I move further. So I have a total of 30 feet
All
of
rough,
distance.
all rough terrain through the tent and wooded area there. So he's at 5, let's see, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can get to right here.
Right there?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll move up there to stand right in front of my brother.
You can take an action if you want. Grabbing that weapon was kind of a free action.
Okay.
Moving through there gets you right up to the enemy.
Okay, I'm going to add a mace to my inventory.
Okay.
Add mace. Equip mace. I am going to roll a 1d6 plus 3 bludgeoning
Okay.
and strength.
Okay.
Cool.
You're attacking the priest.
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely hit, and you hit for 8 damage. Or, 9 damage. Wow, good hit.
Nice.
Does he die? Because he's already taking acid damage.
Nope.
Nope, he's not taking acid damage anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. Nope, not dead yet. He's backed up. He is definitely afraid. He is hurt, and he is angry. And he can't believe that he's falling to the likes of you slaves. Slavers. Essen goes to the wagon. Calamore.
I would like to pick up the sword, free action. Yeah, no?
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna move 5 feet right behind the priest,
Okay.
fuck him up.
and I would like to declare non-lethal.
Okay.
As if I remember correctly, he said to capture the priest, not kill the priest.
He said kill the priest, but
Oh, he said kill the priest?
yeah. Kill the priest.
Yeah, I'd like to fuck this dude up.
Okay.
Fuck him up.
Fuck him up!
Fuck him up. Oh, critical hit. Nice. You come running around, scooping that weapon up off the ground that you'd stuck into the ground before, ripping it out, dirt clods flying off the side of it, come running up, spin it over your head, and shear him from left shoulder to right hip.
Damn.
He doesn't fall in half, but he does mostly fall in half. All sorts
All
of
his organs.
gibbly bits are tumbling out. He dies suddenly with a gurgle and very little else. He just collapses to the ground in almost 2 pieces.
Would that be considered combat finished?
That would be considered combat finished. So you can save Ian, or not Ian. Sorry, you can save Kirame. No, wait. Which?
Ian.
No.
Ian. It was Ian. It was Ian. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I will of course lay on hand.
How many points do you give him?
Yep. Look at that. I know that we have others that are injured, but he's dead. So I'm going to give you 3 HP.
Okay.
Does that wake me up or?
Yes. You come to. You're going to be groggy, stiff, and sore. On top of all the other trauma you've taken.
And who else would be like the most effed up right now?
Jalkhead, I'm 1 of 6.
Yeah, Jalkhead's messed up. The wolf is messed up. If you want to heal the wolf,
I am missing 5 out of 15, so I'm kind of okay.
You're hurt.
Yeah.
Most of that's superficial.
Yeah, I
Remember,
mean, with only 2 HP left on my lay on hands, I'll give 1 to Jalkhead, and then I'll help the wolf as well. So 1 HP to the wolf.
Okay. What at least doing 1 HP does is it seals over the wounds so they don't continue bleeding, and gives them a hit point. Thank you. You get 20 XP bonus for healing the wolf.
So who's doing all the healing? I need to know.
Oh, sorry, that's Sir Nicodemus doing a lay on hands.
Yep. Okay.
And he's dead.
Yep.
Sir Nicodemus is currently the only person you can heal.
I can heal. I have no powers.
No.
But that's all the healing that I've got. So
I can heal the rest of the way. Who do you heal, Nico?
so that was 3 points to Ian Sunsor.
Okay.
And then 1 HP to Jalkhead. And 1 HP to the wolf.
So, quick note, in 8 minutes I'll be shutting down the Twitch session, but we can play longer than the 3 hours if you want. We can go, another 20 minutes, half hour or so if you want, to kind of wrap up the session.
What are y'all?
Are you guys having a good time?
Oh,
yeah.
I would love to, but I worked this morning, so this is like the 2 hours I get for my kids after.
Oh,
after
gotcha.
game,
Yeah,
so.
family first, dude. Family first.
If y'all want, you can continue, and then I'll read the notes and look at stuff like that after.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. The notes is currently in D&D Chronicle under Table 1. I can't pin it. I've also DM'd it over to our DM. So if you can't find it in Table 1, DM the DM or DM me.
Cool.
I take pretty good notes. So
Yeah, it seems like it.
yeah. Have you taken a look at it, our wonderful DM?
What was that?
Have you taken a look at the notes?
I haven't, not yet. No. Got my hands full.
Yeah, after that.
I'll read them afterwards. So basically, you'll spend the next 15, 20 minutes kind of checking the dead, checking the living, making sure you're bandaging. Talon, without introducing himself, kind of brings out sort of traveling medical kit that he has, and so people's minor cuts and abrasions and stuff are wrapped up. The wolf is back on his feet. Actually, he turned and licked your hand, Nicodemus. He was grateful of the gentle touch and the making him feel so much better so quickly. Essen comes out and gives healing potions to everybody. So if between that and taking a short rest that you can take, all of your hit points will be back. So make sure you're all at full.
Can I choose not to take the health potion and just kind of like pocket it?
Absolutely. Well, there are more. He gives you another one after you guys are all said and done. He gives you another one for yourselves. That pretty much runs them out of their supply. But
so essentially, everybody is full HP plus 1 HP, 1 health pot.
Yep.
Okay.
So
let's get a list of the loot.
Here's
so there are 6.
Yeah, rather than a list of the loot, let's go about it this way. Most of your belongings are there. So you're not going to have any rations or food left or anything like that, but your spare change of clothes that you may have been traveling with, your original armor that you had, plus there's chainmail available to anybody who didn't have something as high as chainmail. Nicodemus, your brigandine or whatever you want to start with is in there, as well as your personal weapons are all in there, unless they were really strange or bizarre, but they probably went down in the other wagon. But for the most part, you're able to re-equip yourselves as if you just made a new character.
Okay, so
with the exception
do you
of
want us to go
gold.
on our D&D Beyond sheets and under our empty inventory start doing the starting equipment?
Yes, yeah, and everything but the gold and provisions. You're going to end up having 3 days of fresh provisions. Fresh deer that was killed earlier. You'll be able to cook that up and whatnot. I do have. You guys will be traveling on here relatively soon, so you're kind of gathering stuff up quickly. And there's the big wooden wagon with the big locked door on it that hasn't been searched.
Did I find
Oh yeah, no searching that.
Getting into it will be difficult. It is a hardened structure. It is iron banded hardwood all the way around it. It does have barred windows, or windows on the outside. It's got shutters, but they're barred from the inside. And there's a big iron lock on the door.
Okay. So this is going to be a little bit different, but I would like to rage and try to rip open that door.
Sure. You
Nice.
rage. I'll give you
Yes.
a +2 bonus on a strength DC to try and break the thing.
Who's raging?
Calamar.
Kellamore.
More rages. And what door?
It's on
Are
a
you ripping
it's on a wooden.
The
It's on Kellen's wagon.
And I would have advantage on this.
Yes, you would.
Woo!
How do I do advantage on D&D Beyond?
Roll
There-
twice. Pick the top one.
yeah, that's the easiest way.
hold shift, the bubble will turn green.
Oh,
That too.
that works too.
Well, I think the first one was good enough. Maybe.
Okay.
That's-
Yes, it
that's
was.
That's legitimately as high as I can go.
Oh, hang on a second. There's somebody chatting over here. So just rated the channel with 11 viewers. Whoop. Subscribed at tier 1. They subscribed for 9 months. Money just became a battle buddy with tier 2. And Renee Sargent says there's no one on the schedule. So...
Oh,
7 more hours. Let's go.
Illigard,
yeah.
do you mind DMing me the stream? The Twitch?
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the MVG.
Yeah.
Charity.
Oh, is he on the charity channel?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
on the charity channel.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Wasted.
our games will be televised for MGV for the charity stuff at 12 to 3.
Absolutely beastin'. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I just joined.
All right. So, and then Glenn Calamore breaks the lock. I high five him and say that the last kill that he got on the priest was split half and half because I did half the damage.
I was screaming. Whoops. Mistyped that.
And I did, and I made him half a priest.
Yeah. He's half the priest he used to be.
He's half the man.
Okay, so in the wagon, yes, you're going to bust through that thing. You rage. Don't forget about, rolling, but you did do a critical strength save. You don't just hit it with the mace. You kind of just look at the mace as you're raging. You look at it and it's like, fuck it, I don't need that. And he grabs the iron lock that's on there and just rips it off the hardwood. Throws it down to the ground, rips open the doors, says, there! Or whatever you want to say.
While he is doing that, Sunsor is going to vehemently, outrageously thank Sir Nicodemus. Like, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's fine, lad. It's fine.
No. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there a cart left over here?
My
that
life
was
is in your
part of the
tent.
slaver stuff.
There is one covered wagon that has extra clothes for the guards, extra blankets, extra cloaks, the food that they carry with them, and any sundry things they need around the camp. There's a couple more tents, which didn't have time to get put up yet. There's stuff like that. They're basic traveling stuff. So between that wagon that had some of your armor in it and what you get inside the covered wagon is how you get all of your starting belongings back. In addition, there are other weapons that are here and that have been piled in that you guys can choose from. So, like if anybody wants a great sword or a great axe, those are available. If anybody wants a spear, there's several spears in the wagon that the guards either had or took with them. They've got extras, that kind of stuff. So you can really equip yourselves pretty well. The one thing you're going to run low on is rope. You're not going to be able to get a whole lot of rope.
I have a shit ton of rope in my starting backpack.
Okay, all right. Some of that may have been used, so let's make sure you're no more than say 50 feet is left.
Okay, let me check my character sheet.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Did I find anything in this trunk inside this tent?
Inside the tent. So you end up with, between what you find off the guards and in their tents and in boxes and pouches and things that you find around in there, you find a total of 23 gold and 112 silver and 48 copper. And then inside the wagon is really where you find all the important stuff. So here's what you notice. You find a box, you have to break into it. Inside that looks like their treasury that they have been living off of. You find a total of 427 gold, 137 silver, and about 75 copper.
You're rich, bitch.
Yep. Now, to give you an idea, a gold is about what the most common person could earn in a week of work. So normally they're paid in silver and copper. So a silver coin is going to get you a room, usually maybe 2 or 3 silver. At a nice establishment, maybe as much as a gold. But really think about it as a gold piece is what a commoner, like a mason or, not a ditch digger, but general laborers and whatnot would get paid in a week.
So
that's a lot of money.
Clarify what's going on here. So
yep.
I found the low amount in this tent in the box,
in
and they found
various
the 400
tents.
Something.
In various tents and in various boxes and stuff around camp and on the bodies. That's where you found that smaller chunk.
All right, and then the bigger one was out of that box they ripped open.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Kellen's treasury for the expedition. You also found, some of the nicer weapons. Nothing's magical, but nice quality great sword, nice quality great axe, a battle axe, nice quality falchion, a nice quality longsword, those kind of things. So the better stuff was in there.
Do we find hand axes?
In the normal wagon, yeah, you can find a couple of hand axes, no problem.
I will be adding.
There's a couple of other things. Who is it that's searching the big wooden wagon? It's only room enough for one person.
The person that's searching the big wooden wagon is Calamore.
Calamore? Okay.
Calamore is currently at the wagon, as far as I know.
You barely filled
I just ripped open the door.
Okay. While you are doing that, who here did not take their potions?
Midnight or Kirame did not, so it didn't take any damage.
Okay.
Calamore would have been frugal and saved his as well.
Okay.
Sir Nicodemus took no damage, so he did not consume his potion.
Okay. Who wants the healing?
I would like an extra healing potion.
Well, who wants spell healing?
Oh, I'm full HP.
Okay. Who hears damage and didn't take a potion?
Calamore. 5.
Calamore.
You'll heal that after you take your short rest. You'll all be healed after this scene is over, quote unquote.
Cool.
You said we find armor as well.
Yes.
Is there any specific kind of armor that we find?
You can take anything up to chainmail or a breastplate.
Oh, being a barbarian, it probably would be medium armor. That would be leather, correct?
Oh,
I
no,
think
no.
barbarians
As a
don't want
barbarian,
armor.
You don't want any armor.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't want any armor as a barbarian.
No armor. I do have one extra healing potion, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so one healing potion, and I found 2 hand axes. And the gold we would use as collective, correct? Or would that be separated evenly in all of us?
That's your call. If you wanna pocket all that gold, we won't blame you.
I would say we should have one bank of gold, and then everybody given some.
Party
Like-
pot.
Like 15 gold per to keep, and then stored the rest. That's my opinion, but that's up to you guys. What do you guys decide?
You guys wanna evenly divide the gold between each other of the total amount, or do you guys like the idea of having a pot of gold for us to dip our fingers into and go as a party?
Only
I
if
like
it's
the
a literal,
pot of gold.
I
only
like
if it's
pot
a
of gold
literal
idea
pot
too.
of gold.
But the
Sir
question is,
Nicodemus, he refuses to dress up as a leprechaun, so do not ask the halfling to do so.
the better question is, if we do make the pot of gold, who's the treasurer?
Ian
Sir
is
Nicodemus,
writing
good to.
the chronicler.
Like,
Yeah,
it's not
Ian?
smart enough.
Who's well,
Ian would be able to take a ledger if you can find a ledger among these slavers.
you won't find ledgers, but you will find you definitely can find some papyrus and a writing stack. You can get some paper and a charcoal stick, things like that.
Okay.
Is anybody interacting with Talon out there while you guys are searching through these various things?
Well, Sir Nicodemus would probably still be by the wolf, making sure the animal is okay. So if Talon goes anywhere near the wolf,
Oh yeah, he went straight to the wolf's side and looks extremely upset about it. Mahavros, you're loyal to a fault, but my friends, you put yourself in too dear danger. The wolf kind of lifts his head. Mahavros.
How much paper would I find?
Take like 5 or 6 pages. Paper's pretty spendy.
5 pages in a single charcoal stick.
Yep.
And how much?
How much what?
I'm just going to put down an ink pen. That's the very easily. How much gold is inside that pot?
127.
427 gold and how much silver?
137.
137.
75 copper.
75. And everybody else gets 15 gold. So we're looking at. Oh, calculator.
Yeah, so you'll subtract about 90 off of that gold for 6 people to have 15 each.
Minus 15 from that 90 since I'm keeping the 15 on me.
Yeah, so everyone's got, approximately, 2 months worth of pay, maybe 3 months worth of pay on them.
Not if I can drink it all.
Right?
Before I roll out, I would have given 5 gold to Essen, and
Okay.
then I'll just kind of generally help out wherever I can.
Who befriends Essen the most? I mean, I know some of you are going to have ill feelings towards him and whatnot, but he's very repentant about what happened. He feels very bad. He wants to make amends, so he offers his services for a year and a day to pay a debt for what he has done.
Ian, I'm just going to start assuming Ian's going to be the brainchild of the group. Would usually harbors some grudges. Of course, being
Dehi.
a Dehi.
Dehi. Yep.
Dehis keep a pretty bad grudge. They do not forget, nor do they forget.
Okay.
Nor do they let their comrades forget.
That is
Sorry.
correct. Nor do they leave their friends for dead.
So, do you have a distaste for Essen then, or
I don't have a particular distaste for him as a whole. More so of the distaste for the path he picked, and that was the path he chose. So, to save face, I would say no. Do not come with us. You're free. Be on your own.
Jelket would have distaste for him because he took the most amount of beating.
I would befriend him and tell him that while his actions starting weren't very chivalrous or very good, now that he knows that what he was doing was bad and is kind of training a new leaf, I'd maybe talk to him about Deb Foe, stop, being a slave, or stop believing in their theocracy and turn his heart to Deb Foe.
Give me a charisma roll. Charisma save.
And Sir Nicodemus is raised to believe that those can be turned towards good, and has seen that Essen has tried by simple things of pulling punches with Sir Nicodemus, and he did, quote unquote, drop that key. So,
not to mention he stopped feeding the drugs to the group.
He tapered off the drugs for the magic. He, so while he was on the side of bad, he did risk his life for ours, and Sir Nicodemus does appreciate that. And, while we will keep a weary eye on him, just know that there is still hope for him.
We're split down the middle. We need one deciding vote.
Well, he will look to Sir Nicodemus and says, "Sir Knight, if you would then, since the others will not have me, I would become your man, your man at arms, if you wish, or even simply a page, whatever you wish. But I would work off this debt if I may."
And Sir Nicodemus is going to point to Calamore and point to Jalket and say, "I'm sure that those two over there would not mind playing tug-of-war with your arms. So, please, if you swear this to me, please do it."
I did a.
There. So Essen becomes Nicodemus's man at arms.
Actually, with the oath that he is willing to swear, you could take him as a squire if you wanted to, and train him.
Squire.
Yeah, if you wanted to. He realizes that he really wants to work off this perceived debt that he has, and yet a couple of the folks around here really want to do him some harm, and he understands it, but so he kind of sees it as protection under your tutelage, and to learn the ways of Deb Foe. Perhaps he's willing to swear a life oath to serve you.
Great, I've just become Han Solo and I have my own Chewbacca.
Yeah, that's right. As you've been walking around and having these various discussions, the wolf seems to be kind of trailing around everybody and giving them all sniffs and whatnot. He doesn't seem to be afraid of any of you.
Okay, who is the face of the party? Who are we agreeing to be the face of the party?
Scrawl.
Scrawl.
Scrawl's the face of the party.
I mean, the best talker of all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
If you want a womanizer and a drunk, then it would be Jelket.
Yeah.
But I don't think we want that.
How do you know that
Probably
Scrawl is not a womanizer? He might get along
he's
quite
not.
famously with the ladies.
We'll go in reverse height order.
Reverse height order. Who's the shortest? Nicodemus.
I am the shortest.
Nicodemus is the face of the party.
I think I'm still the shortest.
Nicodemus can hang out on my shoulders.
How tall is Scrawl?
Like 3.5 feet.
No, I'm 2'11".
Oh shit! All right.
So Nicodemus, you are the leader of the party.
Oh, for crying out loud. There's no pressure there at all, is there?
I'm going to chronicleize that too. It's written in stone.
So it is written, so it is said.
Sucker.
And real quick, are we going to take the covered card, or are we gonna leave it?
Well, this is where having a conversation with Talon kind of comes in. So I would assume that you guys would not be ignoring him as he goes about removing these. It looks like he's taking footies off of the hooves of his horse. Those gray things look like they were some kind of socks, probably used to muffle movement.
I would burn it all, leave no trace.
I like
after
it.
we take the loot.
Says,
I like
take
it.
our loot and
What-
leave.
What think you all of this Kellen? I have tracked you for a month and a day, trying to find an opportunity to release you. It finally presented itself, but Kellen has slipped my grasp. After watching the disgusting acts of this man, I would not have him get out of my grasp. I, for one, am going to go and search for him and see if I can bring him to justice.
Sir Knight. Ian speaks up. Sir Knight.
Oh, I am no knight. I am no knight. I am merely a man.
A hero to us nonetheless. Prior to your arrival, there was quite a commotion coming from the mountain in terms of fireballs and a minor explosion.
I saw
I think
this.
that was Scraw that left.
No, sir. I think that was the other guy who had kids.
Who was that?
I think it was Sir Nicodemus.
Sir Nicodemus.
No.
Sir Knight. Well, I'm sorry. There was quite a commotion of fireballs and explosions coming in from the mountain, in which a image from a mist around the priest's neck, assumably from an amulet, spoke with this Kellen you are looking for, inquiring about a. I gotta like turn down my things because I'm doing a lot of voice. So he rubs his chin. I'm quite, if I recall correctly, it will be it was about an object that was found in which the priest told, the image priest, mind you, told Kellen to retrieve it and not let it fall into the water. In which Kellen immediately grabbed almost all of the guards and other slavers and rode horseback towards the direction of the mountains. I'm sorry, but Kellen is long gone.
Kellen is not long enough gone. I will find him and I will catch him.
I wish you swift speeds and fast winds, dear rider.
So none of you wish to bring him?
I mean, should we try to help this? I'm sorry, did you introduce yourself to us?
He hasn't mentioned his name yet. Nobody has inquired.
Nobody inquired.
Well, as being the de facto leader of the party, good sir, my name is Sir Nicodemus Flintspark. I'm sure you have probably heard of the great ventures of my father and my uncle before me.
Alas, I may have been in the wrong counties to have heard such a fame, but Sir Knight, it is a hail and well met to you. I am Talon Whitelock. As he takes off his helmet, you see he's got a white lock of hair that comes from the front of him and goes to the back.
Aptly named. And your wolven companion here.
Yeah, Mahavros, he kind of reaches down and he scruffs the back of the wolf's head behind the ear. Yes, he is a good companion.
Does he have a name?
Mahavros.
I'm sorry.
Which is the
Mahavros. Mahvros.
Well, you are well met. If your timing had not been such as it were, we would still be enchained. And I'm assuming we've taken the key and taken the manacles completely off of all of us.
I'm sure, yeah. Early on, I'm sure.
I would assume so, yeah.
I like to wear it as a fashion statement.
Right. I'm keeping mine on as a memory of my
But
pain.
one. There's one in every party. They got to be a different one.
Says, yes, it is by no accident that we met. I follow the ways of the traveler, and he came to me. I wouldn't call it a dream. I would call it a waking dream. I was compelled and to travel to these mountains and that I would find my destiny there. I am not a extremely pious man, mind you, but there was such a strong compulsion to this that I just felt that I had to come here, and now I think I know why. When I finally saw an opportunity to free you, oh, whoops, sorry, there we go. When I finally found the opportunity to free you, I took it.
Yes. Well, I think as a party we need to discuss what we're going to do before I say anything to Talon. But I will say from go, he saved our lives. He is going after the man that has tormented us these past 4 months. I think there would be some justice served should we go after him.
Sir Nicodemus, give me a wisdom save, please.
Oh, for crying out loud. A wisdom save. Do I have anything good in wisdom? Oh, I do. That's fine.
Yeah.
I have a +3.
We'll see how it goes.
It's intelligence I don't have much of.
And that's why you're in charge.
That's why Ian's part one.
Well, that would just be a 10.
Wise looks like smart. You feel a tug, something deep inside you. You find yourself, now that you are back in possession of it, from the interior of the wagon, you find yourself kind of just fingering your holy symbol. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
And
my amulet.
Yeah. As you were talking to Talon.
Ian will pipe up. Sir Knight, Nicodemus, myself. I believe we are quite under-equipped and ill-prepared. We have no rations. We are grievously hurt, and we need to find a town to stock up on before we can embark on such a journey back to the mountain. If you remember, it took us months to go through the mountains, and I would deem it unwise and very unintelligent for us to go rushing off on a adventure like that. We need to get rations, is what I'm saying, Sir Knight. We need to go to the nearest town.
Sir Talon, do you know the nearest town to where we are at, or are you as lost in these parts as we?
I am not accustomed to this place. I know that we passed a river a few miles ago. I am not sure. This is my first time over here to Brandobia, although I did spend some time down in Yelden in the south many years ago. I know that we lie within the confines of Mendarn, but I do not know exactly where we are. I do know that my quarry is close, and I will not see him get away with what he has done to you. I do not know why, but I feel compelled to do this as well. As much as it was to find you, I felt something when that fire streaked across the sky. I felt something ill, and I would know what it was.
Ian pipes up once again, pointing to the tracks, to which are very freshly made since we just pulled off from the path, from the road.
Yep.
And I'm like, we can follow the path. He says, we can follow the path back to the road and then continue on our direction, of which the slavers were headed down the road. And at some point we should come across the town, logically speaking?
Well, they rode back the way they came when they left town. And according to who was it that made the roll on how far they thought it was, between 2 miles and 5 miles, where the fire hit? Yeah. So you know that they're heading at least back up the road a little while that you just came down, and then cutting into the woods. They probably crossed that river, and that's where they were heading.
That's where the fireball hit originally.
Yes. Yeah.
Not where it erupted.
Well, it's all the same thing. Yes, it erupted where it impacted.
Okay. Calamar looks to the. I'm sorry. Ian looks to the rest of the party. Shall we put it up to a vote then?
Don't mind me. I'm just gonna grab this mead and start drinking it, as Jalket just sits down and starts drinking, as he has not had a drip of alcohol in a long time.
Who was it that that did the main searching of the wagon?
It was Calamar.
All right, Calamar. You found something odd back there. You found in the very back a shelf that had a black silk cloth hanging over it. So it was draped like if you were standing in the doorway of the wagon, you'd be able to see it. It's very prominent, except it's covered as if to hide things.
Calamar has actually left, but I was with him when he was breaking it open.
Okay.
So I'm with Calamar. Calamar mentions to me to go remove tells his brother go remove the veil.
As you do, you see something very strange. It is about this tall. I'll give you this for reference. This is a lich hand I'm currently working on that I printed the other day. It's about that tall, and it's a dagger that is point down, and it's on a stand, and there's blood stains on the dagger pointing down, and there are some cruel serrations to the dagger as well. It is very sharp, but it looks like the dagger is affixed to the stand.
As not an adept dagger user, I look towards the ranger, which is Kira May, and mention her to move forward to inspect the item.
And both of you, as you look at it, can give me a knowledge religion roll.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that went well.
Yeah, that may be something you need to get somebody a little holier to look at.
Does it have like obvious religion kind of markings, or
No, there's no runic inscriptions or anything along those lines on this. Jalket, you know this to be the mark or the symbol representing a god known only as to you as the Flaymaster. He is a god of torture and pain. The inflicting of such on people is more important, and in their holy day is one time during the month they have to spend the entire month torturing a victim until they finally kill him at the end of the month. You've seen this happen with some of the people some of the slaves along the last 4 months. One of you has always died each month to Kellen's beatings or ministrations.
We take the dagger in our possession.
Okay, and it's on a stand, so it's kind of bulky.
Well, I'm 6'2" and a half orc with more orcish side, so I can pick it up.
Oh yeah, picking it up is no big deal. It only weighs a few pounds. It's just bulky.
Yes.
so is it a real like sharp dagger, or is it pretty much ceremonial?
It looks
With a dull
ceremonial,
edge.
but it is razor sharp, and but I said it's affixed to the stand. It doesn't look like something that you would use. It gives you a grim feeling looking at it.
I think we should destroy it.
I think we should give it to the appropriate authorities
Now,
to show to show what these slavers are doing.
and Jalket, you noticed something odd. I don't know if you caught this, but the priest, Kellen, wears the robes of a priest of the oppressor, not the robes of the Flame Master. No markings of the Flame Master have you seen before.
Okay. I recognize the dagger from his robes.
No.
We take it in.
No, no. The point is, his robes are those of the oppressor god, the god known as the oppressor, and
yes.
but this holy symbol in the back of his wagon is that of the Flame Master, a different god, and one that does not play well with others.
Okay. What would be our options here?
Talon's just kind of squatting down next to the wolf.
I take the dagger over to Talon to ask him his opinion of the dagger, and if he knows anything about it.
That is a foul thing. Well, let me give a roll on religion for him here. See if he knows anything. Probably not likely. Oh, he does. He looks at that, looks up at you, and says, "What in the hell is a priest of the oppressor doing with a holy symbol to the Flame Master?" That's the first things that just rattles out of his mouth.
I ask him, "What do you know of this?" Because I follow no god.
The Flame Master and the oppressor. I am not a religious man per se. I do know, however, that those two gods, while they have worked together at times, mostly are they at odds. They both claim a superiority to one another.
Ian will interrupt Dogard with an attempt to identify why a religious man of the oppressor has a Flame Master.
Give me an insight roll.
Sure. Insight. I also have religion, so.
Yeah. No, that's a given on this.
Religion. That's insight. That's religion.
Okay, insight. Not so good on that one. You know these following things about the religious aspects of it. You know that a priest cannot serve two gods.
Yes.
Not and be a cleric, at least.
He could be fronting. He could be.
This could be a quest we could go on.
He could.
Yeah. It could be a spy for one god while working for another.
I'm still putting our vote towards going to the nearest town and stocking up on supplies.
It's a wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am opposed to that. I think we should go for but it looks like I'm the minority here.
You very much so are. By majority vote, I look towards our dear writer. Dear writer, I regret to tell you, but we will not be joining you on this journey. Instead, we shall be going to the nearest town and stocking up. If you wish to join us, we would be honored to ride with you on the quest to find and destroy Kellen and his cult of worshippers.
Nay, I must decline. Though it cost me my life, I will not let that foul creature gain whatever it is that he is after. You mentioned that he had some authority speak to him in some kind of mist, and that there is something important to grab, to be obtained here. I would have him not have this. I did not spend the last 2 months trying to catch him to stop now. I wish you all well. a
we're
good
not
life.
asking
And
you to stop, good sir. It's just that we've been slaves for 4 months.
oh, I
And
understand.
we it's not that we do not wish to seek our revenge, it's that we have to ready ourselves before going.
I understand. You
Going
have many
into a
reasons.
battle.
You have no reason not to go. I understand. It is. I hold you in no ill esteem for this, but the quarry is there, and I am close. I will not lose the quarry by traveling another direction. I wish you all good luck, the best of luck. I am glad that you are free and able to make your decisions for your own for a change. But I must tarry not, for the trail will only grow colder from here. And with
So,
that,
Ryder,
he turns.
one question.
Mm-hmm.
One question, so Ryder. If you are unsuccessful in the quest of this current quest to find Kellen in this short amount of time, where shall we find you?
You may find my bones wherever they lay, for I will not let him live. Let it cost me my life.
Shoot fair winds.
Okay. With that,
I will
he
reach
mounts
out
up.
my hand and wish him well. And I would also rub Havros on the head before they go off.
Havris kind of whines at Talon and whines at you, and then gives a growling chuff. And Talon looks back. It looks that all abandons the quest today. Mahavros, do as you will. He has a very sad tone to his voice as he looks at you and the wolf, and then he turns, and alone it is, and he starts riding off into the night at a slow walk. You hear the horse hooves clopping as he moves up the hardened road.
Very well. With the wolf left behind,
Yeah.
do you think we can do some animal husbandry and adopt the wolf into our party?
You can certainly try. He seems to be sticking pretty close to the one who healed him, to Sir Nicodemus.
Sir Nicodemus, it is your mount. Tame it.
I don't think it's that easy.
Yeah.
No, I'm short enough.
You're short enough. You can definitely tame a fucking... You can be an actual no-shit knight with a fucking wolf as a mount.
I can help
Well,
you with that.
Yeah, let's just make sure he's our friend first, and we'll worry about mounts and whatnot at a later date. He got injured just as much as you did.
That's true.
Doctor interjects, mentioning we need food, and we need food now.
You guys have plenty of food. Remember, there were
Yeah, we have 3 days worth of deer meat.
And vegetables and whatnot, hardened, wrinkled apples and whatever would keep in the cold.
Which means Sir Nicodemus has about 5 days worth.
Right.
I have 2 days.
I have purified food and water, so we can just pick up any food and water we see fit, and I can purify it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think our goal should be, we need to take some of these provisionings with us as far as tents to protect us from the cold. But I agree. We need to get somewhere so that we can. We need to get ourselves whole, 100%. I know health-wise we're at 100%. We got our gear back, but I do think we need to prepare ourselves and figure out what our next steps are. Though I do think, Kellen is on our very close horizon.
Yeah. We got Essen, which is an extra mouth to feed, and if we tame this wolf, that's an extra mouth to feed.
Well,
However,
I'll share my food with Mahavros, the wolf, and Kellen will have to, or not Kellen, Essen is going to be pulling his weight, and so he needs to be fed as well.
Is myself and Essen the only human in this party?
Yep.
So
Oh,
Yep.
amazing.
That's an affirmative.
And
I guess
remember,
I
you'll be in
know
a
Talking with the shopkeepers and shit.
yeah, you're going to be in a fairly human-centric nation, so it'll be a little rough.
Does Jelked sustain permanent scars from Sir Ian Sunsor's
Acid
lack of
splash?
aim?
Absolutely.
Alright, I menace at Sir Ian Sursor, thanking him for saving me, at the same time telling him to aim properly next time, so not to add permanent scars on my orc body.
Makes you more so, the scarier, my orky friend.
And adds to the intimidation, but takes the women away.
Does it really?
I would assume, yeah.
Okay, and with that, I think we should probably end the session. I got to do a little reconfiguring, and I think we are in good shape to start off the next section of this.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Your first session on the campaign. Stick with it?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. Well, I'll go ahead and stop the broadcast here then. To all of you out there who stayed and watched us, thank you very much. We will be doing this every Saturday at noon Pacific Standard Time or 3 p.m. Eastern. So thanks for tuning in. And please donate to the charity. MVG Charity it's a worthy cause. All right.